Now let's get King Kaz in here.
Hey, what's going on, Tariq?
How you doing, Kaz?
Chilling, man. Oh man, I'm a supporter of man. And one thing he said about FBA is that y'all don't really do anything outside of the internet.
But he's
And I
FBA.
remember,
But he's FBA.
yeah, but a lot of us we don't claim the FBA moniker. Like I'm
You're foundational Black American. We're not a group. He's a foundational Black American. You're a foundational Black American, whether you claim it or not. I don't claim African American, but on paper I'm African American. I don't like it, but I'm African American. So that's an irrelevant point you're making. You
yeah,
are of, you are of the lineage.
but did a lot of your people even go out and vote? Like a lot of people mad that he Trump is in right now, but did a lot of them. First of all, a lot of them had Trump banners on their platforms, FBA guys and stuff like that claim it, and then the other half didn't even vote from the start, and that's why people are saying that this movement is really just an internet movement, man.
How's it an internet movement? And that's your lineage.
Because when we talk about reparations, we had groups like in Cobra that was already that people could have worked with. You talked down on them and saying they did nothing, burgers, whatnot, but they were the first ones to push the paperwork far as
No,
reparations. We this
they
just
weren't.
go ahead,
No,
go
they
ahead.
weren't. And Cobra ain't talking about no real reparations. And Cobra talking about repatriating to Africa. Have you heard the shit that they say? They're not talking about it. They don't even want cash benefits. They're talking nothing. In Cobra, those are Democrat shills, dude. The name of their game is to just keep us talking in circles indefinitely while they get broken off. And Cobra is a damn joke. Why you think we ain't got nothing with them? They've been around forever. What stopped them? Huh?
Well, the white power structure
Right.
stopped. The same structure that's been stopping everybody,
Well, then,
Tyreek.
oh,
The white
that
power
means, okay,
structure.
then they were ineffective because the white power structure has always been here. So that means they were ineffective for 30 years. So why do we, on the grassroots now, we got reparations in the public lexicon all over the place now. We've done that in a few years, sir. So yeah,
Well, they didn't
we're
have
doing.
and Cobra didn't have social media then, Tyreek. If they had social media like then, like how we have now, it would have been the same
Social
thing.
media has been around for 25 years as we know it, from MySpace to Facebook to Black Planet. So social media as we know it has been around for 25 years. That's not an excuse. They could get because you just criticized talking about an internet movement, and now you're saying that they didn't have an internet movement to propel them. We're out in the streets doing this stuff. We didn't have two successful rallies out there in Washington D.C. signal boosting the message, bringing thousands of people out. So we're all over the place. It ain't just on the internet, but everybody's on the internet to push messages and keep the agenda out there in the lexicon. So we on the grassroots are doing great things. Now, sir, what are you doing to help?
Tyreek, I've met Claude Anderson. I've met Claude Anderson before the internet was even around. I've sat with in Cobra. We sat out there. We pushed up as part of the trying to Black Madonna different Pan African groups. What y'all are doing is delineating from these groups and dissing the elders. Tyreek, that's like a
Okay.
slap in the
So
face for all the
so you
elders that have pushed this thing forward.
so you haven't done anything.
No, I have worked with these
No,
groups,
you
but these new neo groups that
let's
sound
slow down. So
conservative,
you said you
y-
sat with some groups. Okay. You sat with some groups and did what? What did you accomplish, sir? King Cass, what did
Tyreek, we had programs all over Detroit. We had the Quaba Center. We helped get mayors in. The Shrine of the Black Madonna helped get Coleman Young and Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick in. We helped get the mayors in Atlanta and Chicago at the
who?
time.
Who is we? What?
Like
Well, you just saying stuff.
the Shrine of the Black Madonna, the Black Slate, and Cobra, and
They
other
did.
different groups that have done this. I was with
You
the
know
Shrine.
they didn't. They didn't help get no mayors nowhere, sir. They know they didn't. You just saying.
Kwame was a part of my church. He was a part of my church,
That
Tariq
don't mean
Nasheed.
nothing. You just all you doing is talking about people that you sat next to. Kwame went to damn jail, dude. They put Kwame in jail. You understand?
We didn't put Kwame
Yeah.
in jail. They put
So
the
y'all,
same white
y'all,
power structure that you're complaining
y'all
about.
couldn't protect Kwame. Trump let that man out. You understand? Biden didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a power move. We know he's playing a power move, and I don't blame Kwame for going down there because the Democrats let him down or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just basically
Saying that
saying,
I'm talking
go
Democrats
ahead.
ain't shit, and sounds like you're rocking hard with the Democrats because if you're within Cobra, and sound like you're a member of Cobra. And in Cobra, they ain't my damn elders. Just because you old, if you selling us out, you ain't my elder. Claude Anderson is my elder. In fact, I brought Claude Anderson out of retirement over a decade ago when I put him in the movies. Claude Anderson had retired. I brought him back out there in the public lexicon. That's why he's all over the place now in my movie. So I'm already up on Claude Anderson. That's one of my master teachers and mentors. All right. So we out here getting it in,
Well,
doing the work for real. This is why people are making sure the Democrats crash and burn. That was us on the grassroots making that happen. That ain't just no damn internet. That's real grassroots work, sir.
but
Go ahead.
but Tariq, I was with Brother Claude when we were trying to get Africa Town here in Detroit. Now we had other pushback, but we were trying to get a black Africa Town here in Detroit with Brother
And them
Claude.
Democrats out there messed it up. Them Democrat ass Sambos messed it up. I know about that. It was them who messed it up. They were like, man, we shouldn't be too black now. When you start talking about doing stuff specifically for the black community, and speaking of lineage, it's Claude Anderson was the main one talking about lineage-based benefits, where I got it from. So you keep talking about Claude Anderson. Claude Anderson, I got the game from him. He was the one talking about things need to be lineage based and how we shouldn't call ourselves African American. We should be Native Black Americans. And I said, okay, instead of Native, let's just put the word foundation in front of it because people might think that we're trying to be like the Red Indian tribe. So that's where I got the game from. So you're bringing up Claude Anderson, which is proving my point, sir, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. FBA, look, the moniker, I rock with the moniker, but when you start saying we Moors and Aboriginals and stuff like that, my folks ain't no Indians from this land. My folks came from Africa, man. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
Like we all did. I don't identify with no Indian tribes here, you know.
okay.
And we look at the Aboriginal stuff as pseudo,
No,
man.
no, that's not, it's not pseudo. Claude Anderson talks about this. You keep talking about Claude Anderson, but you keep denying the stuff that he says. Claude Anderson has been in my movie talking about the Folsom people and black Aboriginal people that were already on this land. That's scientifically proven. You know, that's not even up for debate. There were black people on this land for thousands of years. That's not, you know, we were mixed in with the African people who were brought over. This is not pseudo. They've done excavations and they've done reconstructions of what some of these Aboriginal people look like, and they reconstruct them and they look like black people today. So that's not even up for discussion. So if you want to be in denial about that, that's fine. But the truth is still going.
I mean, we can go to see Indians with big lips and wide noses, Tyreek. You know what I'm saying? Like they still there in South America. You know, this is a tropical. It's a big feature of the tropics. That's a feature of the tropics and
Well,
stuff like that.
down in
Now,
America.
did
Are you
you
saying
said
that
what?
South America is the tropics? I'm talking about up here and even North America on the east coast of the United States. You had black skinned, woolly haired Aboriginal people. And we were a part of that. We were mixed in with the Africans who came over. But to say that there were not black people or black skinned, woolly haired people over here, when these people traveled all over the other parts of the world, you go to Samoa, they're black skinned people with afros. You go to places in Polynesia, black skinned people with afros. All over New Guinea, they call it New Guinea because they look like the people from Guinea, Africa. There's black skinned people with afros. You go to Fiji in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, black skinned people with afros. If they reach those places, you think they couldn't reach here?
Well, yeah, I can see the Polynesians come, but them not our people. They done migrated out of
You
Africa
think
30,000 years
you
ago
think
and stuff like that.
Africans couldn't have reached over here?
Now, it's a story about a skier the great selling over here. It's a couple of stories, but we still trying to prove that. You know what I'm saying? We need to let the proof and the archaeology tell the story and stuff like that. I don't want to jump to a conclusion and say, oh yeah, the Cherokee was black, because the
So,
Cherokee ain't black. They bred the dark brown,
so
but they
the
ain't black.
people,
And
hold
this
on.
is what these aboriginals like Dane Calloway
Well,
talking
wait,
about.
Dan Calloway's a clown. That's not even serious conversation. But you talk about the Polynesians. The Polynesians initially came out of Africa, and some of them admit this,
Yeah.
right? You do acknowledge.
Yeah, it's It was with that one tribe. They said they came out of Kenya. I'm trying to
Well,
think of which island. I think that was Fiji or something
I
like
was
that.
just in Fiji not too long ago. They told me this. They told me their origin is East Africa. They told me this. They came.
Okay. Maybe I'm confusing it then, Tariq. So you don't deal with that Dane Calloway stuff that he
No,
be
he's
talking, because
a,
that was my
no, hell no.
presumption.
He's an idiot. He's one of the
Okay.
he's an idiot. I don't even bring him up in serious conversation. But I don't bring some of that
Okay.
troll stuff. We don't bring that. And also, speaking of trolls, you said you rock with is a troll, an admitted troll. So you can't right,
Yeah,
but you
you're troll, man.
say you
You
support
troll.
one but discredit the other. And one person is an admitted troll, and that's all he does is troll. So bring that up as a troll conversation.
Well, he said that, man, people have seen go out there. He says he's worked with the youth and all that, but he said his moniker is, and folks don't want to listen to that. So the thing they want to listen to is ignorant nigga shit. So he said that's how he get his message through.
Oh, then why
You know what I'm saying?
let ignorant nigga stuff? You brought that into a serious conversation. You brought that into a serious conversation. You understand? So you kind of pick and choose what you want to be serious about and what kind of troll material you want to promote. You see, that's the problem.
Tyreek, I'm just against the thing that y'all talk against Pan Africanism and being black. I understand the calling out the man, but like it's like when I'm talking to your followers, bro,
What
they talking to Dane Calloway stuff. Not you, and not you per se, but your
I don't
followers talking to Dane
I don't
Calloway
have
stuff. Or
there are no
they
followers. People don't have to. I don't want people to follow me. I want people to follow logic. I've never told anybody to follow me. You follow logic and follow your lineage. You don't have to follow me. And there's 43 million foundational Black Americans. I don't know what the hell all 43 million people are saying. 43 million people don't follow me. And there are people who identify as foundational Black Americans who don't even follow me. The term is out there now. Many people use that term. As far as Pan Africanism was really something that we were holding up by ourselves. What have you done to create a Pan Africanism success story as a Pan Africanist? You.
Well, I said I was a part of the organization. I'm still a part of the Shrine of the Black Madonna, but we were responsible for getting the schools here. We got the food co-op here. It's a black grocery store down on Whitworth right now. You know, with Baba Malik, we established some of the first black
Okay, that's not
bookstores
Pan.
here. So we were
Where's the
doing all
Pan
right.
African part? That's you doing stuff here in the United States. Where's the Pan African thing? Where's the connection to Africa? What are you doing in Africa?
So one of the things about Africanism is working together. Like these schools that we put together were African schools, African centered schools with African centered
Which is
education. You know what
what's
I'm saying?
African centered education?
Us not telling from a Eurocentric point of view. We're talking about Mali, we're talking about Kemet, we teaching the basics, mathematics and everything, but we're telling about our history, Tyreek. Like we're talking about
Our
our
history.
history versus the history coming from a
Okay.
Eurocentric
Do you
standpoint of view.
teach the Black American history because that history is more prevalent, it's more pronounced. There are more success stories in recent history. So that's what I primarily focus on. Yeah, stuff in ancient Africa, that's cool too to talk about it, but that's not Pan Africanism. Where's the Pan African part? Where's the success stories? Talking about Egypt, that's
Well,
not
we're
Pan
part.
Africanism. We
Yeah,
what?
but we're part of the pan. Look, we are a unit. We're the diaspora. We're the diaspora within the Pan African and within Pan Africanism. Like somebody be in Cuba with their culture, they'd be a part of Pan African. Brazil, that's not. We're talking about trade and business and different things amongst each other or whatnot. We all suppressed by the same European white supremacist system. Whether you in
But
Africa, Cameroon, or you in
but
Detroit, Michigan.
okay, since we're all oppressed by the same white supremacists, how come we're the only ones fighting white supremacy and the other groups ain't really doing it?
Them brothers over there in Mali, was it the Burkina Faso, Mali, and is it Chad where they kicking the French out right now? Wouldn't we say that's a part of Pan Africanism right there?
Okay, what does that have to do with you? Now, are you over there in Africa? What African country is giving you citizenship without you having to break bread?
I mean, Sierra Leone just gave my uncle citizenship based on the DNA test. So I'm going to do that probably the next couple of years and go do that. My uncle just got his citizenship
Yeah,
over there in Sierra Leone, so they are giving citizenship without paying the
I
bread.
that because everybody, the people I know who go over there to Sierra Leone and Liberia and places like that, they got to come up out them pockets to get some citizenship. They got to grease some palms to get citizenship over there. Even in Ghana, where they talking all that year return stuff, we got to go over there and break bread. And then when you break bread, there was a woman over there just did a video talking about she's getting scammed. She's over there in Nigeria. Folks over there getting scammed out of their land. I don't know where all this Pan Africanism, these success stories, there are none. To be honest, we just go with that. There's no real.
Yeah, but a nigga could get scammed in L.A. or Detroit.
Well,
I went to L.A.
I
and
will get
almost
scammed.
got into it with Bloods there,
I would
for saying the wrong thing.
I would rather stay here and then worry about getting scammed than going 10,000 miles to get scammed. At least I can get my money back over here if I get scammed. Yeah. It's too common to go over there. And that's why y'all ain't over there. Y'all talk about Pan-Africanism, y'all ain't never over there. Why are you?
That's a lot of people can't afford to get over there, Tariq. Like, you got to remember, we have a system that's oppressing us. A lot of people can't afford it.
Yeah, you can. You can go over there if you wanted to. It ain't that high to live over there, but you can't afford to pay them off to get citizenship. That's probably what you can't afford. And the fact that you got to break bread to go over there and get citizenship, that's a problem. You see? And by the way, Kaz, where's your family from?
I told you I'm from Detroit, man. I think we talked. I mean to say, man, Tariq, you remember I told you that I went to Kettering and you took a picture in front of the
years
K.
ago.
Stuff like that. So my folks from the east side, my great grandmother come from Georgia, my great grandfather come from Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, my folks, if we consider FBA, I'm FBA.
Because when I see people really pushing, why are you pushing Pan-Africanism so hard?
But that's how I came up. Remember back in the early 2000s, when we were going to the black bookstore, I know Cyrus said it. We went to your movie. What was it? 1804. 1804. We both attended that. It was great, man. We was all out there. We talking about the movie. It was some funny shit going on. A couple white boys.
Oh, you're breaking.
Came in, but we was like, I'm not against you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo. Okay. Yeah, but at that time I've always been a Pan-Africanist. Ever since I was 17, 18. It was just something. Knowledge itself. You feel what I'm saying? So I've been rocking with you since probably 2015. I found out about you from the beef between you and Tommy back in the day. And when I looked you up, I started listening to you or whatnot. So I've been following you since that time. Not since the King Flex time.
But my thing is us. We are focusing on lineage-based policies because that's where our strength is. We've been doing this whole thing where we're trying to look out for everybody, and everybody ain't looking out for us. That's the reality. Pan-Africanism has to be a two-way street. The reality is when other groups come over here, they ain't really looking out for us. They're looking out for their own interests. And okay, that's fine. We are going to look out for our own interest as far as our lineage. Now, what is wrong with that, King?
Well, when it comes to reparations, I agree that it needs to be lineage based. That if you're fighting for reparations, you need to get it from the country or the people that oppressed you. So I totally agree with that.
Let me get my brother Robbie.
So can I be Pan-African and be FBA, brother? This is to be my last question. I don't want to hold you. I know other people want to talk. But can I be Pan-African?
Listen, FBA is a lineage. You are or you're not. It's not something that's negotiable. You can be a crackhead and be a foundational American. It's not an ideology. It's just what you are. That's why everybody's not going to agree. Now, I disagree with the Pan-African thing because Pan-Africanism has been misused and been misinterpreted. It's basically us uplifting everybody. And I don't agree with doing that anymore. But if you come from a foundational Black American lineage, that doesn't change, even though we might have different ideologies. Our lineages are the same. That's why when you brought up Mr. White, Yeah, he trolls or whatever. And that's why I don't take it seriously. We're from the same lineage, so just even engaging that is pointless.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Oh,
Right.
damn, broke
You know
up.
what, brother Tariq? You dodge these trolls like Muhammad Ali. Cats be trying to bait you in so they can be recording your spaces. I seen something earlier. I won't give the brother any shine, but I be on the low checking YouTube, seeing people who talk greasy, and I see how you don't respond. And what I noticed, they'll try to pay clips from your Twitter feeds and all of that just to try to give themselves clout. So there's a lot of bottom feeders out here. So we ain't going to give them no time or energy. But on a serious note, what we were saying was the finesse of the civil rights movement. I think this is very important for the family to understand, because I was asking this question today. I said, since they act like there's this people of color thing and there's this whole minority coalition, what was everybody else doing during segregation? Well, guess what? Asians were able to live amongst whites. Latinos were able to live amongst whites. They were able to go to schools. They were able to marry whites. They were able to own property. So literally, this whole finesse about, we're in this all together. Literally, we had to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. We were the only ones fighting to advocate for equal rights. Everybody else was just trying to basically strive to be classified as white. So I don't know. Somebody has a hot
I
mic,
got him off.
but yeah. But I found that very interesting that you'll have all these people now. They'll piggyback on the civil rights movement. They centered themselves, prioritize themselves around it, and then they have the nerve to try to act like they turn their nose up to us if we even ask about reparations or anything, when they knew intentionally, right? That because some of them had to be alive or their ancestors had to tell them that during segregation, they never had to deal with being treated as colored.
Right.
So why is everybody playing dumb? Why are they acting like they don't understand lineage? So that alone lets me know that we're going to get our reparations because they messed up. Like once we got the lineage down, it's too easy to prove everything else because they were too busy misusing Dr. King, talking about woe is us. Look at how bad the Negroes are doing. But by the way, we're also discriminated against, which explains that these guys were able to transfer their wealth under the banner of minority. So when you look at the economic gap, it's no mystery that you got Asians and some of these white Hispanics that are already, collectively getting their wealth in the trillions, and we're still at 1/2 or 1%. So it's, to me, it's like uh as Dr. Claude Anderson says it is economic it's basically economic Darwinism, but on top of that, in general sense, it's just dine and dash. They're freeloaders.
Yeah,
They want us to play the tab, and then they complain we don't leave a big enough tip. And I land my
my
plane.
man. Yes, indeed. So yeah, this is why these DEI programs getting gutted good. Some of these programs, these affirmative action, that can go too. I ain't tripping on that because that benefited all of these non-FBA minorities and other special interest groups. So now we can have a reset. We can start making things lineage based. We can clear the aisle and start fresh and then go by the true mission of Dr. King, because Dr. King wanted us to get reparations based on our lineage. Don't ever forget that. Dr. King was on a reparations kick for the lineage. We go back to that.
In action. It is with a great deal of pleasure that I give you Dr. Abdul Alim Muhammad of the Nation of Islam.
I'm so glad that we are having this opportunity to discuss the issue that has been put on the agenda of whether or not it's time to change from being black into something that is being called African American. I am very happy to see that we have now grown in maturity as a people, that we are actually able to have such a discussion where in fact everyone does not agree with everyone else's view, but we have become such good brothers and sisters of one another that we are able to disagree and yet not become disagreeable. See, to equate African American with terms like Italian American, Polish American, Russian American is to destroy the reality of how we got in this country. We did not get into America with our nationalities intact. Africa is not a nationality. If you are from Nigeria and you have become a naturalized American citizen and you want to call yourself a Nigerian American, well, you help yourself. But that's not how we got here. We did not pass through Ellis Island. We did not take the course that qualifies you to take a test for citizenship. That's not how we got here. To equate the immigrant that you might have in the Greek American or the Russian American with the so-called African American is a gross distortion of history. We're not no damn immigrants to this country. We were brought here against our will. We didn't come because we had booked passage on a passenger ship and we were so glad to be here and this was the land of opportunity and freedom and equality and justice for us and we were looking to jump into the melting pot. That's not our history. We are those that were kidnapped and we were brought in chains in the holds of slave ships and we were kicking and fighting every step of the way, and when we got here, we could not be held down except by the most brutal methods. And even today, when you look and see what is used to hold the black community in check, it is the most ruthless and violent and brutal of methods that are being used today to hold us in check. So we don't want to rewrite our history. Let me say something else that's going to make you mad. I'm just going to say it and get off of it because you might not be ready to think about it. But I'm going to put it in your subconscious mind. It's going to come up later. See, even you are guilty. Those of you who are advocating this African, you're guilty yourself of trying to distort your own history. So you want to pretend like you are the same people that was brought over here 400 years ago. And that nothing happened to you since you've been here. You the same black African now that you were then. That ain't true. I'm reminded of Richard Pryor. He went to Africa. He asked the brothers in Africa, he said, "What tribe do you think I'm from?" They said, "The Italians." Do you want to disguise your own history? Do you want to pretend that you did not have people who rose up on the plantations in rebellion to slavery, who fought and killed and died to be free, and some of them were only able to run off in the swamps with the Indians, and they set up their own independent kingdoms right here in North America, right down in South America, in the Caribbean islands. It was the black man in league with the red man. They set up armies to fight against the slave master, and in many cases they won, in other cases they were defeated, but they left a legacy of struggle to be free. And now you want to forget all about the red man. You want to forget all about him, like your blood and his blood are not intermixed so much that you have really become like one people. I bet if I asked you the question, there's not one of you sitting up here that does not have the blood of the red man flowing in your veins. And now you know I'm coming to something else too, that you don't hardly like to admit. just as bad as white folks who also don't like to deal with it. See, when you look at yourself in the mirror, brother, you know why you look like you look. You know that slave master raped your grandmother. You know he went into the black woman and planted his wicked seed in the womb of the black woman, and that's why we're such a spotted up people today. And so when you just want to use this term African American, you're using it as a cover to hide yourself from what actually happened to you because you don't want to face the facts of your own reality. You're letting the slave master off easy because you're scared to call him a rapist. You're scared to call him a murderer. You're scared to lay on him everything that he did to us to destroy us as a people. But you yourself bear witness to it just in who and what you are. So don't deny yourself, man. What are you? Yeah, you are some of those people that they might call black Africans. That's part of your heritage, ain't no doubt. You also got that red man's blood in you too. And according to what we've learned, they traced their family history. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said they came here 16,000 years ago from Asia. They're Oriental type people. And you got that slave master's blood in your veins too. So it means a whole lot of you walking around with European genes. I told you you wouldn't like it. And I told you you ain't ready to deal with it. But it's the truth. And so it means that you need to look at what God has produced in you. If we're living in a time of universal trouble and universal confusion and universal revolution, then there is a need for a universal teaching and a universal vision. There's a need for a universal people to rise up out of the earth to become the universal rulers for all people. And there is no other people who qualifies on the face of the earth other than the black man and woman in America. There's you, that's your destiny, and the sooner you are willing to face up to your divine destiny and play your proper role in the evolution of world history, then the sooner we will enjoy a kingdom of peace and happiness and true brotherhood for all men, regardless to color, creed, class, or national origin.
They low-key saying about all of us. Don't forget, we're a monolith. So when they attack Tariq, they're low-key attacking all of us. Even if you don't like Tariq, they're still attacking you because they believe we're all fanboys, right? Fangirls. That's their mindset. All right. So let me go to the video so we can see what let's see right here. Okay.
That's it. I don't want to hear about no fucking but
when this shit doesn't pause when I say pause. Give me a second. Give me a second. DJ. Yeah, okay, yeah. Stephen Smith looked like he's. Wait, before I do, let me go here first. Yes, it is around here somewhere. Okay, I think it might be right here. Let me try this right here. Yes, it is around here somewhere. Okay, I think it might be right here. Let me try this right here. Okay, let me try it right here. When he said something slipped, I'm not sure, but it looks like this might be it right here.
Unless somebody's getting paid to do this shit on purpose, because there are plants. I'm wondering, because I'm.
Hold on. Second.
Go, yep, I get it. I'm not even tripping. Why are we? What's going on with the fight? It's
let me
like
tell you
weird. It
hold on,
sounds
I got
planned.
something harder for y'all.
It looks
Fat
planned.
Joe is my brother. Shout out to Rich Player, my bad.
Man,
Rich Player, Rich Player.
Keep talking.
Rich Player, Fat
I'm
Joe.
using the restroom for the first time.
Go ahead, man. Take a do.
Wait, that might be too far. Hold on. Let me try again. I should have went to the time frame I wanted to go to. All right. So let me go to the time frame I want to go to. All right. So I'm gonna play it from here. I'm gonna play it for about 3 minutes, and we should be at where I believe he said something crazy. And like those damn glasses does not fit him at all. Like people need to ask other folks, like, yo, do these glasses fit me? They really don't. Shit. All right.
All of that shit meant Ralph Abernathy.
They're
but
reducing it to your lineage.
Right.
So when they say FBA, all of that, you could be them dudes in the Trump party could be not. They could be foundation.
Yeah.
They still cooning. So, but I you know, and I you know, I'm foundationally black, but the reality of it, in my opinion, and I respect the fact that Tariq is doing what he's trying to do.
I'm a Tariq fan.
But
I watch Hidden Colors.
But let me tell you something.
Watch
You
Hidden
don't.
Colors.
Yeah. Godfrey was a non-paid ally, but I'm telling you, it looks like they'll just ally until they get where they want to be, and then they're like, "All right, I'm out." They're like all of them. They'll be an ally until they don't need our alliance for them to like. When they don't need our alliance anymore or validation to get where they gotta go, that's when you'll see them talk like this.
We don't get past none of this if black people in general don't unite.
We have to unite. Listen.
So that's a.
Go ahead.
Yeah. This is the stupidest thing ever, and that's why I gotta play something for you later, because like this sounds so smart when you just hear dumb people say it. So all black people in the world gotta unite. So all Asians don't gotta unite. All Europeans don't gotta unite. All Indians don't gotta unite. All what I mean, it's just us. All black folks must unite. And that always come up when we're trying to do something for ourselves. You know what? FBA dogs, let's pull up on bootstraps, and since white folks ain't cutting a check right now, let's just do something for ourselves. Oh no. All black people what? Need to get on board with you guys. Yeah, but that'll take lightning years. Like, let's just get together for ourselves. That's something practical. No, don't get together for yourselves. Include all of us. You're being divisive. Yeah, but y'all not on code with yourselves. Yeah, but that's tough luck. You gotta wait on us. So see you in the next life. It's like, no. So that's what it's coming to.
That's where I might have to agree with Tariq and Lord on that. Just on that particular part
What?
right there.
In terms of what?
Of course, we got to unite. That goes.
No, we have
without
to
saying.
unite, but I'm not. I don't have a problem.
But
with,
I'm not. I also understand that there's a.
And they talking over the guy. He can't even. I want him to talk. Like when they talk, I don't care. I'm doing something else. But when Godfrey talk, I'm listening because I know you about to say something crazy.
I'm breaking.
I'm gonna say
I'm
something. I'm
addressing
trying to
what.
say
Go ahead,
something.
say what you're saying.
Damn. Big dummy.
These motherfuckers.
I'm trying to.
That was
No,
an
shut
olive
up.
branch.
Go ahead.
No.
What the fuck are we doing?
was-
No. I know
wasn't
because I
on.
had some. No, before
Go ahead.
my because you're gonna explain longer to me. I'm saying I don't have a problem with people with the foundational Black America. I get why he's doing that. There's nothing wrong
Okay, I think this is when you're gonna say it. I believe.
with being about your business. Like foundation, we need to be respected because it's never been respected.
Facts.
And black people, there's
Absolutely.
black people that have been here that weren't slaves, that were just here. You got black Indian. I get the whole thing. It's not like I don't get it. I've read enough where I understand black people. I like that they are being hardcore about it. But then when you're shitting on the other black folks, that's when I have a problem
Yeah,
with
so-
because I'm like this. I can.
That right there. He said we are pooping on other black folks. I was like, got him. Got him. He showed his real truth. Now, by the way, we got him. I clipped him saying, I can play it. I clipped him saying that other black folks were pooping on us. So you gonna make your mind up, my boy? All right, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch. Hold on. So if anybody want the link or phone number, let me know. I mean, yes, I ain't trying to hog the mic. But I got him. Saying this right here. It's like, dude, make your mind up. At the same time,
Dad, add us me, Daddy.
okay, go ahead. Here we go. Now listen to this.
Which is funny how almost every foreigner has something to say badly about African Americans. Even Africans sometimes have to say about African Americans, but then everybody comes to America trying to be African American.
All right, so he went from that. Hold on. He went from that to this.
Black Indian foundation, we need to be I get longer than me. I'm saying I don't have a problem with people with the foundational Black America. I get why he's doing that. There's nothing wrong with being about your business. Like foundation, we need to be
They should.
because you're gonna explain longer than me. I'm saying I don't have a problem with people. You're gonna explain longer than me. I'm saying I don't have a problem with people with the foundational Black America. I get why he's doing that. There's nothing wrong with being about your business. Like foundation, we need to be respected because it's never been respected.
Facts.
And black people,
Absolutely.
there's black people that have been here that weren't slaves, that were just here. You got black Indian. I get the whole thing. It's not like I don't get it. I've read enough where I understand black people. I like that they are being hardcore about it. But then when you're shitting on the other black folks, that's when I have a problem
Yeah,
with
so-
because I'm like this. I can be over here
I got you.
and have you.
I
Let's
got
say
you.
you had a black
I got you.
foundational,
Yeah, so that's what
a
it is.
foundational black club. I don't mind fine that I'm not in it. As long as it's for the good of you and the good of everybody else.
The problem,
I'm okay
the
with that.
problem why there's a response that the response to the
For the good of you and the,
Yeah, so that's
a
what
foundational. You had a black foundation over here.
I got you.
And I'm saying I don't have a problem with people with the foundational black America.
got it.
I get why he's doing that. There's nothing wrong. He's doing that. There's nothing wrong with being about your business. Like, foundation, we need to be respected because it's never been respected.
Facts.
And black people,
Absolutely.
there's black people that have been here that weren't slaves, that were just here. You got black Indians. I get the whole thing. It's not like I don't get it. I've read enough where I understand black people, I like that they are being hardcore about it. But then when you're shitting on the other black folks, they are being hardcore about it. But then when you're shitting on the other black folks, that's when I have a problem
Yeah,
with,
so-
because I'm like this. I can be over here
I got you.
and have you.
I
Let's
got
say
you.
you had a black foundational.
Yeah, so
There you go. Now we're pooping on other black people. I thought you studied this. I thought you looked into it. Like, what gain do we have pooping on black immigrants? Like, you don't think about you guys like that. Like, we cook each other. Like, we don't even run. Like, how? Again, like, because he's in New York and most black immigrants are in New York and Florida. That if you're from New York and Florida, because again, I'm from Jersey, and I really thought black immigrants were everywhere in the United States because they're everywhere in New Jersey. And I've been there for a long time. So that's all I ever really experienced. So I'm thinking that black immigrants are everywhere. Until you go somewhere else. You're like, oh, where's the Haitian? They're like, what's that? Yo, y'all got Jamaican? Yo, what's Jamaican? Like, you joking, right? Like, nah, what's that? Yeah, these folks have no clue what no damn Haitian, Jamaican, all this stuff is, man, out here in different rural southern places. Like, what's that? They are so far between. But up north, like, there's so many of them. I didn't even realize until the other day that shit, like, it's probably more of them than FBAs and ADOS. Okay. You dig? So anyway, yeah, so that was a bit. Yeah, but I told you, now we're pooping our other, and I got other. I mean, it's just weird. But I get it. I understand. He said he got 1 million. He said he got 1 million followers somewhere, Twitter somewhere. So he feel like he made it. He got 550,000 subscribers on YouTube. But I'm telling you, we get behind these folks. We support them. We push them because they're saying everything we agree with. They're looking like us. They're talking like us. We push them. They get where they gotta go. They're like, see ya, and I wouldn't want to be ya. This happens all too often. All too often. This happens all too often, man. And it's kind of sad because you be saying to yourself, okay, all right, we got an ally in this Nigerian man, Godrey. All right, okay, he's been consistent for a few years. And then bam, the dude, like, the Crazy Lake thing was suspicious, but I didn't really get it. So I didn't call him out. But this right here, wait, you can't see. But this right here, coupled with the Crazy Lake's interview, was enough for me. So Crazy Legs is like his Fat Joe, pretty much. I'm like, yeah, man, it's over. And it kind of kill your hopes that we have like sincere allies who just want to rock with us, who just want to rock with us. Because they get where they got to go and they're out. Like this guy right here. Okay, so let me, yeah, man, it's this disappointing because you really think like, okay, all right, we got an ally in Godfrey, but what's more cool is that he is not just a regular Nigerian man. He got some stain in the in the industry. He's a successful comedian. People know him. He did, so now he's backing us. That is good for us. We can like. When a black immigrant is hard on us, we can say, "Hey, man, look at Godfrey." We don't call each other, and we say, "He our brother." Now, we can't use Godfrey as that example for other black immigrants to let them know, like, "Yo, you don't gotta be hateful toward us. You can be like Godfrey. You could be a brother." Not just cordial, but you could be a brother, a friend, if you choose to. You don't have to be a brother or friend, but you could just be cordial. But why do you gotta be our op? Like, why is that the only way for you guys? For a lot of you guys, why is that the only way? Why is that the only? Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. Yeah, why the only way that we can, why the only relationship we have with some of these guys is always toxic? Oh boy. Yeah, man, DJ, unfortunately, man, it just extra money creates, it's just looking bad, man. Yeah, we like, yo, what is really going on? Yeah, so I just played it back, Pablo, and that's why I give them the phone number, I give them the platform, and like they never really speak. If you really think about it, none of them really speak to what we want them to speak to. We want to know: are you against reparations for us exclusively? Yes or no? That's the first question. The second question is: are you against us delineating and sectioning off? Because we're all black, but you guys all section off your blackness. Are you against us sectioning off our blackness? And once you say no, it's like, all right, well, what's the problem? Like, so where's the beef then? Because that's our only beef. Our beef is if you're against reparations for us, and if you're against us self-identifying. If you want to deny our ethnogenesis, basically. Like, that's our two main biggest, bones to fight with. It's like once you agree to those two, we like, all right, so what is up? Because to me, debating hip hop is cool, but it ain't more serious than reparations and acknowledging our ethnogenesis. But we gotta fight for hip hop as well. Cause that's probably the third question. It's like, who started hip hop? You knock on the door, they say, hey, what's the password? It's like, you're an ally? All right, well, answer 3, 4, 5 questions. And they're not, if they don't believe it, they're not going to sit there and say yes. If they don't believe we should delineate, they're not going to say we should delineate. Trust me. If they don't believe in reparations, they're not going to say they do just to hang around us. Because they are vehemently against reparations. All right, this ain't no something. Nah, hip hop, they'll fight you, but not tooth and nail. Reparations, they ready to squabble. They want to squabble up for some reparations. They're like, hell no, you ain't getting that. I close it.
Daddy. Daddy, look, I got 3.
Yeah, 3. How old are you?
I'm 3.
Yeah, get 5. Good job. You want to take a bath?
Take a bath.
Okay.
Oh, I
So now I offered Chuck to hop on, but now Chuck got no excuses. Okay, because Chuck then heard the discussion with me and Tiffany, right? And he see that I'm civil. Chuck watched me and Chaotic Truth. He sees I'm civil. He watched me and Brother Reggie, me and the Ivory Coast brother, me and the Jamaican brother that was the young guy who didn't like the fact he was Jamaican. So Chuck seen me engage with many people, right? Many non-FBA, non-ADOS people, right? Non-Black Americans, ethnically, right? So he sees that I'm civil. I ain't gonna cuss him out. Even the Spanish brother, I was civil with for most of the discussion. So he sees I'm not gonna cuss him out. I ain't gonna cut him off. I ain't gonna mute him for no reason. He sees that. But he still will not call in. So I gave Chuck no excuses not to call in. And that's my thing. I don't want to be seen as irate, belligerent, cup you unfair, because then they'll say I don't want to come on for those reasons. So I purposely behave while I have these discussions to encourage more. And it works. You see people come over, Brother Reggie, people come over and talk because they see it ain't that thing where it goes left. We have to have drama. And they come back, like they like the dialogue so well, they come back. So Chuck disagrees with some of our talking points, but I just want to I don't know why, like, if I disagree with something, like, how are you wrong if you disagree? That's just how you feel. Yeah. I said Malcolm X, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, and Minnesota's Farrakhan. I tap in enough where he pops up on my stuff. So I was a real supporter. You dig? I was a real supporter of Godfrey. I wasn't faking. Y'all heard me big up Godfrey. Y'all heard me big up Godfrey. Yeah, I want Chuck to call in. All right, so matter of fact, let me see. And all those other folks who said they'll talk to me and did on these Marcus Garvey channels, I said, let's look, I came peacefully. I came in peace. And they still don't want to have I said, let's talk about Garvey. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. I came in peace. And they don't want anything to do with me. So I'm gonna show you this interesting dialogue of a brother I didn't even know was into this. I think he's FBA, but he's more to like dating stuff, women and men relationships, like some Kevin Samuel type of stuff. I didn't even know he did like what we do over here. So he did pretty good. I can tell you what I don't like, but overall he did pretty good. So I'm gonna play it for you guys, okay?
My team.
I think he did very good. He was quick to the point. Like he communicated the way I try to get DJ Focus to communicate. It's like, no preaching, just talk. See, Focus comes from the back. He comes from the lineage of, hey, no, move, stop. So he comes from the lineage of preachers. So go to the room. Yeah, he comes from the lineage of preachers, so he feel like he has to preach when he communicates. Like, no, bro, you can just talk to people. You don't have to preach. So I'm gonna show you a video, right? Once I'm gonna share right now, and I'm sure you guys heard this guy before, because he's kind of popular on the net. So let me know if you guys are familiar with the guy on the left. Yeah, Godfrey's done. Okay, so are you guys familiar with the guy, the brother on the left? Damn, the YouTube is so slow. Yeah, Umar right twice. But why the screen ain't reflecting? So that's weird. Okay, you guys see it. All right, so it's the guy on the left. All right. His channel's called The Saint and Sinner, something like that. All right, so let me play the video. He had an interesting Pan-Africanist dialogue with the guy on the right. Now, you would think, like he did so well, you would think that his platform was about that. He did some FBA stuff. It's not. I believe he's FBA. I believe he acknowledges it. He's against Pan-Africanism like we are. And he cooked two guys. He cooked him and he cooked a different kind of play. And he did so well, you would think he has other videos about it. He really does not. It's like back to relationships. I guess he had some criticism about Pan-Africanists, and they just called up when they pulled up on him. But it looked like he cooked them. Because, as a matter of fact, they both appear on this platform right here because he had the same clothes on. So both guys appear here. So I'm guessing he had some criticism for Dr. Umar and like other Pan-Africanists like Baba Cat and the other guys. So they pulled up on him and he cooked them pretty good. But like I said, you would think he had other videos. Nope, he went right back to talking about relationships. He cooked them with Pan-Africanism and went right back to relationship talk. Here we go. Yeah, funny.
What is this? So before I say anything, I just want to make sure this is a platform, basically open dialogue on the deal with who is it with? Is it with not with this guy, but I guess the culture vulture? There was a culture vulture basically making money off the blacks. Is that what this platform is built on the subtitle?
With regard to your question, is this, when you say, is this platform, are you talking about my YouTube channel? Or are you talking about this specific talk today?
Today. Not the channel.
Yeah, this specific talk today is asserting that those who claim to be Pan-Africanists, A, are low IQ, and B, have a lack of understanding, and C, are in fact dangerous, and D, are just grifting off of the black peoples. And that includes the individuals in America who claim themselves to be revolutionaries, and as well the governments of Africa who claim to care about the black American or any other black from any other nation state, because in actual fact, the governments of Africa mostly don't even care about their own citizens. So we're just exposing that reality, not to be causelessly critical, but rather to awaken people such that they can support themselves and achieve the things that all human beings want: healthy, happy families.
Right. Well, I don't find anything wrong with that. That sounds like something concrete that people can live off of. I mean, unfortunately, you have a lot of black people that's going to take that position that he had. Even going into name calling is quite sad, man. But I don't really have any gripe with you at all. I think I see the way you take your position about protecting the black people, actually, but maybe they looking at it as if you being a sellout. So nowadays, if you're being transparent about someone else's actions or their agenda. Now, have you spoken with this guy before, or why do you take? We'll give you the insight to, or we'll give you the motivation to speak this way about his agenda.
Well, his agenda is one that I've seen many times. I've seen the sun set.
Whoever done it on a scale that he has, though.
Wait, who are you talking about when you say he? I thought you were talking about the last caller. Who are you referring to?
No, I'm talking about Umar.
Oh, you're talking about Umar.
Because if you look on Yes, because if you look on your page, immediately it's got his face
Your internet is going in and out.
on
In the chat, if
basically
you guys,
advertised.
on the chat, if you guys confirm if the gentleman, if you're not able to
Okay.
hear him, just keep me updated. I don't want to have to pull the guy out. I want to hear him out, but keep me updated on if you're able to hear the gentleman. Anyways, Don, I believe it is. You have your name listed as. So with regards to Dr. Umar, you said no one's ever done it on the scale that he's done it. This is quite fascinating. What is it? Is it schools that never open? Is it raising millions of dollars from a Black population that is already impoverished and giving them nothing back? Is it selling them pipe dreams and false ideology? Is it failing to build up the Black man and woman with the truth? Is it getting on your knees and bowing down to Black females and not ever correcting them, though we are in fact the leaders? What is it that he has done? I would like to know.
I can't speak for him. He knows the details of what he has done, and I can't speak for it. I don't have no position.
I'm not asking you to speak for him. I'm asking you to speak on what you've observed, because you came on and you said no one has ever done it like he has. What has he done?
Well, so far, I guess the way that Black people have embraced him across the social media post lines, the attention that he's beginning holding these seminars. I don't know what these seminars hold. It's a lot of different type of things that you have done. Probably you have done things greater than he has in terms of teaching. I will definitely give you that. I've done a little research.
And you know what? It's not even about Marquette Devon Burton. It's not about Dr. Umar. It's about the people. And for me, be those people Black, white, blue, what have you. It's about good people. The real leader that rises up should not rise up for their own narcissism to be in the spotlight, but rather to give something back. You've already created a good life for yourself, and you say, you know what? Maybe something that I know can be shared to help create a good life for other people. That's what leadership is about. It's about being a servant. That's what our government and our policing force should be, servants of the public, not bloodsuckers of the public, not narcissists looking to aggrandize themselves or enrich themselves, especially at the expense of those who have so little already.
Unstoppable gives me the edge. Being unstoppable means you cut out all distractions. It's the perfect.
I don't deride Umar because I personally don't like him. I deride him and his thinking because it is detrimental to all peoples. And as it stands, he is currently blood-sucking a community that is already in financial and mental disrepair. So I want that to be known. I don't dislike Umar. I dislike what he's doing. And also I know that his ideology is incorrect. Dr. Umar is not the originator of any thought. If you are as well studied as I am, you would know that he's bit off of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, who was bright but also fraudulent. And he's also bitten off of, even more so, Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu, who published widely and did many lectures, particularly on Blacks in education, on the way Black boys are suffering in the educational system. So he's bitten off of those two persons and not been anyone who is practical or useful for the Black people. So he's been very practical and useful for increasing his own fame and wealth. And there's nothing wrong with becoming wealthy and famous if you're not doing it under the guise of I'm here to help you, right? That's not right. You see, I have businesses like, for example, mdblabel.com. We sell these fine watches. You can go to mdblabel.com. I don't tell you that that's to help the people. It's for you to have a beautiful watch and for you to compensate me for that watch. But it turns out, because I'm such a great guy, there's a young Black man who invested in this. I gave him my brand. I gave him my connections to manufacturers and my website and my platform, and he makes money on this, not me. So actually, it turns out I am doing good. It is a good cause. You see? But there are those who try to act like what they're doing is for altruistic purposes when really it's just for their own ego. And you can see it as clear as day because there's no results for the people that you claim to serve. Now, one thing that you mentioned is that Dr. Umar is popular, and he is popular. He's very popular. That's why he's in the thumbnail. because we're using him to start the real conversation. We're using him to do the actual hard work as opposed to the preaching. Now, what I'm telling you is that he's a Tyler Perry. Yes. He's basically a Tyler Perry. You said he's very popular. He is. So is Tyler Perry. He can get black people together. So does Tyler Perry for a Medea movie, a grown man dressed as a woman, something perverse. And Dr. Umar has perverse ideas that are as detrimental to black people. The comical idea that you living in Detroit, or you black person in poverty living in Baltimore, Maryland, that somehow, some way, some N-word in Sierra Leone identifies with you, some N-word in Cote d'Ivoire who speaks only French cares about you, is ludicrous.
Yeah, that's so. Why is it necessary for I just want to know, based off of your opinion, why is it necessary for black people to it seems like this is a normal, I mean, it's always been this way for many years, denigrate and disrespecting each other amongst other people, other races, other race people.
Let me ask you.
But I find it
unique to black people. Is that unique to black people?
It's not. It's not. But it needs to be.
Position it as though that's like a unique thing to black people. Why do that?
I'm not doing it. At some point, there has to be a better. I would say that if it's okay, it should be a better mutual respect coming across each other.
Should
you know what I'm saying? It should be. It should be. It should be until it becomes disrespectful. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: are there white capitalists?
Yes.
Are there white communists?
Of course.
Okay.
Hey, family, this was a great, in my opinion, this was a great point. And some of y'all should borrow this. When they talk that out, we gotta get it. We all gotta get along. We all gotta come together as black folks. Hey, yo, this point he about to make right here was everything, yo. Check this out.
Until
should
you know what I'm saying? It should be. It should be. It should be. Until it becomes disrespectful. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: are there white capitalists?
Yes.
Are there white communists?
Of course.
Okay. Communism and capitalism are in direct contradiction. There is no compromise between the two. So should we say, well, because you got white capitalists and white communists, they need to get together. They need to agree. They need to not disrespect each other because they're both white.
I get where you're going. I get where you're going, but I'm talking. I'm dealing with I'm dealing with the black African American community, the people. I find it that a lot of us.
We're dealing with logic and humankind. And the reason that I give you that example is because you suggested earlier, your underlying suggestion is that the blacks attack one another as though other races don't. That's number one. Then number two, because the blacks are effeminate, this is me speaking, because the blacks are effeminate, they have this foolish kumbaya, can't we all get along? Well, no, we cannot, because it is dangerous to allow foolish ideas to propagate. You see, because when the children learn the wrong thing, they suffer as a result. And so what I will do consistently is I will chop down anyone who rises up with errant thinking and spreads corruption among the youth, or who misguides our women, if you will.
I do agree with you on that. I do agree with you on that. I'm not here to go back and forth against you, man. I understand your position, why you do it. I'm just saying, like, I guess the aura that comes off, maybe not from you, but from other people, I'm just questioning why their motives to come at you or anyone else like that. I mean, I understand your position, why you're doing
I understand why they will come at me. They'll come at me because A, they don't comprehend, and because B, I'll tell you why. I'm the most terrifying person on earth. There are so few black men who have true command of language, that have high IQ, that have ruthlessness and seriousness, organizational skills, have money behind them, and are willing to risk everything and sacrifice everything in the cause of black people and the cause of the good peoples of the earth. And for that, I'm terrifying, because they look at me and they see something that they rarely see. They look at a Martin Luther King and say, oh, well, he's articulate, but he's a coward. We can manage him. They look at Dr. Umar and say, oh, he is a bombastic, powerful speaker, but he has no ideas or ideology. We can manage him. They look at a variety of black leaders and they say, we can co-opt him. We can turn him into Jesse Jackson and parade him out as a Democrat Party stooge. But they look at me and they see pure, unadulterated black power. And that is terrifying, not only to whites, not only to white supremacists, but to everyone, including the blacks. For the blacks hate themselves and they don't believe themselves to be intelligent or to be strong. And when they see me, I counter every false idea and stereotype that lurks in the back of their minds. So I terrify them. That is why they come at me. And it is for the goodness that I teach and promote. I tell black people, you are in poverty. Learn business and learn capitalism. And not only do I preach it, I teach it, I train it. I have many students out there in this chat right now who have made money. I've sent out over $500,000. That's over $500,000 that could have went into my pocket that I put into other people's pocket. That's radically different than an Umar that keeps on collecting your money. Secondly, I teach ideology, understanding of self, true self-knowledge, which is something that empowers any people. That is why they hate me. And then here's the thing that I do that somehow Umar forgot about. I say, clean yourself up. Do not drink alcohol. It destroys you. Do not use drugs. We've suffered during the crack epidemic of the 80s. Do not use intoxicants. Be clean, clean of mind, spirit, and body. That's why they hate me. Out there in this chat right now who have made money. I've sent out over $500,000. That's over $500,000 that could have went into my pocket that I put into other people's pocket. That's radically different than an Umar that keeps on collecting your money. Secondly, I teach ideology, understanding of self, true self-knowledge, which is something that empowers any people. That is why they hate me. And then here's the thing that I do that somehow Umar forgot about. I say, clean yourself up. Do not drink alcohol. It destroys you. Do not use drugs. We've suffered during the crack epidemic of the 80s. Do not use intoxicants. Be clean, clean of mind, spirit, and body. That's why they hate me. You don't hear Umar doing any of that. Why? Because if you look at Umar's body, does Umar live in a healthy body or does he live in a fat body? Talk to me. Does he live in a healthy body or does he live in a fat body? No, I'm being honest.
He do have. He do need to work out some things. Yeah.
Dr. Umar is Chris Christie. He is Chris Christie. He is the fat governor of New Jersey running for president. How can you manage the people when you can't even manage your calorie intake? Whereas you see me, trim, young, slim, fast like a greyhound. You heard me, tougher than leather, strong and black. I'm terrifying. I can run through a wall. I'm immortal. Of course they hate that. They want some fat fool leading you. Come on now. I don't trust fat people. It's ridiculous. Like, bro need to start managing his goddamn waistline before he starts trying to manage the affairs of black people. How could you trust a man that is effeminate? To be gluttonous is to be undisciplined. To be gluttonous is to have the chest of a woman. You trust a man with titties? No, for real. You trust a nigga with titties?
A performance that truly matters. Get tickets now at shenyun.com.
Oh, the energy is amazing. Oh my goodness, particularly from the stage outward, but also the audience is so involved.
You just felt good inside. We are leaving here as high as a kite.
What they did tonight was a form of medicine. It was a perfect prescription for joy and pageantry and beauty and honor, and we need it.
People nowadays go to the doctors, the psychiatrists for pills, for antidepressants. This is the antidepressant. The best.
You can feel the love, the compassion, the tenderness there. I can say this as a priest, it's a real spiritual experience.
I knew it was going to be good. It's a billion times better than I even thought it would be.
I'm going to tell everyone to come see it. You have to.
We need this in our lives.
Have to come. Life-changing.
Oh, shit, I played a commercial, my bad. I'm not used to commercials, but this is a different account.
Nah, I don't. So I'm an older guy, man, from the old school, man. I learned from my uncles, my family. You know, I come from a really good, solid background, family of great successors and family members.
Good.
I don't have that mentality where I have to follow people around. You know, I don't even have a YouTube channel. I just get on YouTube here and there, but I'm a busy man. I like to work. I don't wait on people to take care of me, nor do I follow people around, nor do I spend my time disrespecting people.
Fair enough. And I appreciate that statement, and shout out to you. That's a beautiful thing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm super disrespectful, and anyone who knows me knows that I will also throw hands as well. So anyone I've ever disrespected in person, if you hear me, if you see me, holler my name and we will get it in. You dig? I'm a big believer in violence. I really am. And honestly, if the laws were different, I would let my sword drink the blood of a lot of these suckers because they need to lay down. You dig? Attila the Hun, the warrior king of this YouTube thing. I appreciate. Peace of the Saints. How are you?
What's going on?
I said, how are you?
I said, what's going on?
So how are you is a question, which you might say, I'm well. You might say it's a good day. I'm in good health. It's like a considerate way to greet someone and ask as to their state.
It's a greeting. Yeah. And that's how, and I said, what's going on? That's also a greeting.
Well, you see, I asked you a question and you responded with a question, but that's fine. What is your position?
Oh, no, I'm just seeing a lot of cooning going on. So I'm just curious.
All right, I would ask you politely. I'd ask folks not to be vulgar before they came on. That is, in fact, a racial slur. And so if you'd be kind enough to refrain from racial slurs, I'd be thankful. But if you'd like to present a position,
it's more of a descriptive term, the way I use it describes.
I understand your opinion on that, but what I'm referring to is the fact that it is a slur and it is not necessary to make your argument. And I assure you, I'm not going to slur you. I will just deal with you on the basis of arguments because we're not in person and we can both talk about what we would do in person, but we're not in person to test that out. So as we're on the internet, let's just have an argument based on our positions and our facts. Would you mind?
Oh yeah, I'm with it.
Talk to me. So what is your position?
Oh no, I just clicked on the thing. I heard a few things you said. This is my first time ever seeing you. This bashing black thing. I understand like that's the wave now. And that's the you asking me my position, right? You're a man of control, you're a man of control, you know how to you're teaching us. I understand like that's like the wave now. Like that, they get you in the algorithm that is profitable now. You know what I mean? Especially being a dark-skinned guy. I'm not sure what your background is, but being a dark-skinned guy, it's a fetish for that now. It's like it's a thing for that now to see dark-skinned people dump on black people. So I was just listening. I'm just trying to get a context of your ideology.
Okay, very good. So number one, I just want to confirm a few facts. You stated that this is your first time ever seeing or hearing of me. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so I just popped up on your homepage.
On my, I pressed the live.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I appreciate you tuning in, truly. So you know nothing of my background, and your idea is that I'm just tearing down the blacks. That's your idea?
Well, I want to say the black. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Now, I like this kind of conversation because often the persons who bring this conversation to me, I ask them, well, what have you done for the blacks? You see, what have you done that is significant for black people who are not in your family, black people that you were not paid to help, so that we can really understand who actually loves black people. You serve that which you love. So your name is Vovo, is it? Vovo, what do you do for the blacks?
Oh well, I'm a truck driver. I drive trucks. My thing is this. That's always a bad faith question. That's it.
No, that's not a bad faith question.
No one else gets asked that.
No, that is a good faith question. I'll tell you.
He said, he said, "What you do for the blacks?" he said, "What you do for the blacks?" He said, "I'm a trucker." And then he said it was a bad. And then he said it was a bad faith question. Oh my God. What you do for the blacks? I'm a trucker. That's a bad faith question. Oh, yo. My God, yo, we are the funniest, bro. We are the funniest, man. You gotta run that back.
Black people that you were not paid to help, so that we can really understand who actually loves black people. You serve that which you love. So
his name is it's the Saint at the Center. Let me show you right now. This is his channel. Oh, the Saint. So it used to be
talk about how to be a.
It used to be Saint Center, but I guess he changed it. It's the Saint. So he teaches business and relationships. I told you, like, he really don't touch on what he's touching on now. So I was like shocked that he was talking about Pan-Africanism. It kind of caught me off. It caught me off guard. But he's normally talking about business and relationships. So he caught me off guard. So I was like, all right, brother's versatile. He could talk about, some community stuff when he wants. Okay, no.
Your name is Vovo, is it?
Ramon.
Vovo, what do you do for the blacks?
Yeah. Oh. That question, that question for black people, it's like kryptonite. For black people who criticize you. For black people who criticize, for black people who criticize you, when you ask them what they done for black people, that's like kryptonite. Now, I don't expect you guys never professed that you were out here building schools and having the Black House, like Jay Morrison. Like, you guys never claimed that. So I don't be, and so but people like to do that to, like, pretty much, like, that's like not him, because the brother that called in, he's trying to get the Saint. So the Saint, like, all right, well, what you do for black people? The Saint is putting it back on him. So I'm not speaking about the Saints. I'm speaking about guys on the right of him, the guy who called in. Like, these guys be questioning people with their activism and what we've done. And when you ask them what they do, they'll just say, I'm a trucker. It's like, dude, so why are you throwing rocks? I can guarantee you. Now, I ain't gonna say I've done a lot, but I guarantee you. You like about me? Outcome. It's stuff I think more important than that. Sleepy. And they just need a good something to go to sleep. I realize that. He's 3. I realize sometimes he's sleepy and he wants to keep playing. He don't want to lay down. But oh my God, yo. You cannot make this up. My man said, I drive truck. And then he said, that's a bad question. It's a bad faith question to ask him, what do you do? What do you do for blacks? Asking a black man, what does he do for blacks is a bad faith question. Are we that bad as a collective where doing something with black people is so like impractical where if you just ask it, it's like, yo, don't you ever ask me that question, man? We don't do that. Yo, the dude said I drive trucks to a question that asks, what do you do for blacks? Yo, this is too hilarious, man.
What else you just asked that?
No.
I'm a truck driver.
Your love. So your name is Vovo, is it? Vovo, what do you do for the blacks?
Oh, well, I'm a truck driver. I drive trucks. My thing is this. That's always a bad faith question. That's a
no. That's not a bad faith question.
No one else just asked that.
No, that is a good faith question. I'll tell you why. You just asserted that I'm just here to tear down the blacks. Now, I'll tell you what I've done for the blacks. But before we get into that, you've positioned yourself the hero of the blacks. So I'm saying, well, what have you done?
I didn't position myself as any hero.
What have you done for the blacks?
Huh?
Vovo, what do you do or what have you done?
Nothing.
Nothing. Aha. So how did I know that? I know that because those men who are Now, I'll tell you what I've done for the blacks. But before we get into that, you've positioned yourself as the hero of the blacks. So I'm saying, well, what have you done?
I didn't position myself as any hero.
What have you done for the blacks?
He said nothing.
Vovo, what do you do or what have you done?
Nothing.
Nothing. Aha. So how did I know that? I know that because those men who are unproductive, they tend to be effeminate. They tend to not think out things. And when you come on not having thought out things, you're one of the many who would say, oh,
I got tears in my eyes. He cooked them. Yo, he cooked them, yo. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, this is, oh my God, he got cooked. Oh my God. Oh, I got tears in my eyes. That dude, yo, he cooked him. Damn. Let me go back. That is too funny, bruh. He set him up lovely. He first asked him, what you do for the blacks? I'm a truck driver. That's a bad faith question. I tell you why it's a good faith question. He re-asked him. He should have just said, I'm a trucker again. You never say nothing. You make up something. Hey, man, I bought a bunch of booger-nosed kids some ice cream. Say something, bro. Do not go on record to say nothing. Say, man, I went to the basketball hoop. I got them out the hood. I went to the park with them. We had fun. Never say nothing. Oh, my God. Yeah. Yeah, this, yeah, he said he's an upper, yo, oh my God. He made the dude say he did nothing for black people. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you bought some kids that you don't belong to, that you barely know, some damn ice cream. I'm sure you gave him a ball you don't use anymore. You did something, bro. There's no way you did nothing. There's no way. There's no way, man. Yeah, but all I'm saying is that some of us, right? Some of us are decent guys off the net. You know what I mean? And that's why I said, like people know me that's in these spaces. They know, they met me personally, or they know me personally. Like I met Sonnet in real life. Like I met Divine Prophet. I met these guys in real life. But I also know other folks in real life. So people can tell you, like they actually vouch for me. They can say, nah, that dude, the unbiased Ron on the internet is exactly unbiased Ron in real life. Nothing about him is different. I'm probably more meaner, to be honest, in person. So if they think I'm mean online, like hell no, I'm way worse in person. All right, anyway, let's get back.
thought out things.
Yeah, so it's important. So I said that to say this. It's important for these personalities that's online. It's important for them, like how Cameron is known outside of online and people could vouch for him. I think that's important. You got too many content creators who are actually good, but nobody knows. They have nobody in their community or former community who can vouch for them. Even Tariq Nasheed had some ex dudes that he hung around with in the streets that could call in and vouch for him. He did that. He had people from his hood call in and vouch for him. I think that's very important. When you got people that's online and they're very influential, they're great content, but none of their friends and family ever call in and vouch for them, I think that's like a red flag. It's not a red flag not to stop watching them. It's a red flag that they might not be exactly who they are online. Okay? So I think it's just more genuine. It speaks more to the listeners and supporters when they're confident, the person they like, the person that they appreciate, not like, appreciate online is the exact same person that they'll meet in person. Like, for example, a lot of celebrities, especially rappers and musicians, people say, man, they love them, but they met them in person. They were so rude, they end up being critics of the music. So they went from fans to critics. That's how horrible they were in real life. Anyway, let's go. This is hilarious.
You're one of the many who would say, oh, you're tearing down the blacks. Well, have you built up the blacks? No, I'm not tearing down the blacks. I actually care enough and understand enough that A, I start with the truth, and B, I'm not a preacher. I'm one who actually has done something. I say, what have you done? Oh, well, I'm a truck driver. I didn't say what you do for a living, little buddy. I said, what have you done for these black people that you...
Little buddy, that was funny.
B, I'm not a preacher. I'm one who actually has done something. I say, what have you done? Oh, well, I'm a truck driver. I didn't say what you do for a living, little buddy. I said, what have you done for these black people that you seem to care so much about? You've not done a thing for them except babble. Well, I tell you what, babbling actually doesn't produce a thing. It doesn't produce $1 in the black community. It doesn't hold together a black family. It does not educate a black child. You, my friend, are of the multitude who preach, and this is what black people have suffered for centuries. Preachers putting them to sleep. I tell you what's even funnier. You have the audacity to come on here and insult me, not knowing what my merits are. And
let me go back. I think he went past that. I'm gonna go from the beginning.
Into that, no, that's not a bad. What do you do for the loves black people to help so that we can really understand who actually loves black people?
Right,
you serve that with your love. So your name is Vovo, is it? Vovo, what do you do for the blacks?
Oh, well, I'm a truck driver. I drive trucks. My thing is this, that's always a bad faith question. That's a
no, that's not a bad faith question.
No one is, that's always.
I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I'm a truck.
What do you do for the blacks?
Oh, well, I'm a truck driver. I drive trucks. My thing is this, that's always a bad faith question. That's a
no, that's not a bad faith question.
No one else just asked that.
That is a good.
Yeah, I was asking what you do for the blacks, a bad faith question. Yeah, that is. I can't get over that. How is asking a black man, what have you done for the blacks, a bad faith question?
Good faith question, and I'll tell you why. You just asserted that I'm just here to tear down the blacks. Now, I'll tell you what I've done for the blacks, but before we get into that, you've positioned yourself as the hero of the blacks. So I'm saying, well, what have you done?
I didn't position myself as any hero.
What have you done for the blacks?
Huh?
Vovo, what do you do, or what have you done?
Nothing.
Nothing. Aha. So how did I know that? I know that because those men who are unproductive, they tend to be effeminate. They tend to not think out things. And when you come on not having thought out things, you're one of the many who would say, oh, you're tearing down the blacks. Well, have you built up the blacks? No, I'm not tearing down the blacks. I actually care enough and understand enough that A, I start with the truth, And B, I'm not a preacher. I'm one who actually has done something. I say, what have you done? Oh, well, I'm a truck driver. I didn't say what you do for a living, little buddy. I said, what have you done for these black people that you seem to care so much about? You've not done a thing for them except babble. Well, I tell you what, babbling actually doesn't produce a thing. It doesn't produce a dollar in the black community. It doesn't hold together a black family. It does not educate a black child. You, my friend, are of the multitude who preach. And this is what black people have suffered for centuries. Preachers putting them to sleep. I tell you what's even funnier. You have the audacity to come on here and insult me, not knowing what my merits are and not knowing how I've actually served black people over time. You told me you're a truck driver. I didn't ask you what you do to make money. I'm not over here saying, hey, I'm in paper assets. I'm in entrepreneurship. I'm in software. That does not stop me from helping these black people, which I care so much about. You just care to talk. You're not a doer. You're the worst kind of black male. Okay? So let me tell you what black people who actually care do. I'll give you some examples. There's a place called Baltimore, Maryland. You ever been?
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's an overwhelmingly black city. You might be aware. One of the greatest needs among the black peoples of the earth is education, whether it's education of self or it's education for gainful employment. You see, I was there and I was a teacher. I taught.
Oh my God. Why did you call in, bro? Why did you call in, man? This is on the net forever, man. I'm going to always play this back. I'm going to play this back like a mug, yo. This is too funny, man. Oh, shit. Why did you come on this net, bro? This is how Chuck thinks he's gonna look. Chuck, I promise you, Chuck, I will not do you like this. Unless you become disrespectful like him, then yeah, I will. But my goal, Chuck, is not to do you like this. That's my goal. Only you can determine your outcome by how respectful you are.
All black kids with a couple Latinos. You'd almost never think that integration occurred. So many black folks. And most of these black children are essentially orphans without fathers or mothers, in many cases raised by their grandparents. Why? Drugs, serious drugs like heroin. 10% of the population on heroin when I was there teaching. You see, that's serving black people. Then I created a nonprofit.
So you had a job as a teacher. You had a job.
Pardon?
You had a job as a teacher.
That's a very good point. So then let me add to that, my dear.
Wait. You said he goes to Q Butter and Cycle Channel? The Saint goes to Q Butter and Cycle Channel? To debate or to get along? Let me know.
Boy, not only did I have a job as a teacher, I also came in early and I made the school open up the building early to let the kids in. A, so that they didn't have to sit out in the cold and the snow. And B, I made them provide meals for the kids before school started. And then C, every day, literally, I would tutor for 3 hours for free. And then seeing that it wasn't enough, I partnered with the churches in Baltimore and created a
Now, listen, let me tell you, because he's kind of in my industry, right? You guys don't know, because I'm a tutor. You guys don't, well, I'm like a tutor instructor with chess, but you guys don't know how important tutoring is for kids to not just get by. You guys don't know how important and how essential tutors are in a child's life as far as getting ahead, getting access to higher learning. Like, but listen. So what he's saying, I'm listening because I'm in that space. I know. So that's why I said people can ask me that question because I can come back with, some things, some accolades for myself. But listen, what he's saying is on point. And to tutor for free is big because tutors, listen, they charge about $60 an hour. Okay, you heard me. They charge about $60 an hour. Okay, I was the least paid tutor in that damn place. Yeah, so they charge $60 an hour. Okay, now and they let's come back to the cook session, the cookout.
See, and don't challenge me because I speak all facts. You can Google everything I speak of.
I will.
I was also given awards for this, mind you. And we taught tech skills to Black kids so that they had the skills needed to gain employment. And because I did such a great job at that, I was then recruited to run a nonprofit based out of Johns Hopkins Medical. I then raised millions of dollars from various persons like Bloomberg of New York. And we provided wraparound services. You know, if a Black family got their electricity cut off and they were sitting there in that row home in the dark because they couldn't afford to pay their bills, Marquette Devon Burton, got their lights turned back on. When kids were going off to college.
What is your name?
My name is Marquette Devon Burton. That's a name that's well known and respected the world over. Then when they were going off to college and they didn't have enough money to make ends meet, I made ends meet. I gave out scholarships. And I can go on and on and on, little buddy. But you who have done nothing,
little buddy, where that's come from?
Hold on one second. You who have done nothing have so much to say to someone like me that's done so much.
Yeah, nothing hurts more than when somebody remind you that you have done nothing. Oh my God.
But you who have done nothing,
little buddy, where that's come from?
Hold on one second. You who have done nothing have so much to say to someone like me that's done so much.
You just had a
and
job.
I could go on and on about what I've actually done.
You just had a job. Now, out of both of us sitting here,
whoa, hold on one second. Hold on. Just real quick. Let's talk back.
Yeah, my man erased all of his accolades with "you just had a job." That is disrespectful. You just had a job. That is disrespectful.
Between you and I. Between
you're
you and I.
The feminine one. Between me and I, you're the feminine one.
Hold on one second, fella. You who have come on with no real legal name. Between you and I, who has done more for Black people?
Me. You ain't did nothing. You just had a job. You was a teacher.
Wait, hold on one second, my dear boy.
Yeah. The truck driver said. Yo, the truck driver said himself, you can't make this. Yo, the truck driver said he did nothing. He asked the truck driver earlier. He said, what did you do for Black? Stop laughing. He asked the truck driver earlier. He said, what did you do for Black people? He said, I drive trucks. He came back and he asked him again, what did you do for Black people? He said nothing. So now when he asked him, who did more for Black people? Now, don't forget, his two answers was, I drive trucks. And nothing. He comes back to ask him again, who did more for Black people? You or I? He said, the truck driver said himself, who just drove trucks. Now, I would have kicked him off and cussed him out. See, look, I try to be professional. I try to have clips that's playbackable, that YouTube ain't gonna flag, that's not gonna get shadow banned, friendly family, kids can listen to. But that disrespect right there, I would have lost everything. That video would have been demonetized. I would have been cussing him out. That's disrespect. That's disrespect.
And I can go on and on and on, little buddy. But you who have done nothing.
Little buddy, where that's come from?
Hold on one second. You who have done nothing have so much to say to someone like me that's done so much.
You just had a
job. And I could go on and on about what I've actually done.
You just had a job. Now, out of both of us sitting here.
Whoa, hold on one second. Hold on. Just real quick. Let's talk back. Between you and I, Between you
You're
and
the
I.
feminine one.
Hold
Between
on
me
one
and you and I,
second,
you're
fella.
the feminine one.
Hold on one second, fella. You who have come on with no real legal name. Between you and I, who has done more for black people?
Me. You ain't did nothing. You just had a job.
You ain't did nothing.
Wait, hold on one second,
You're
my
a
dear boy.
teacher.
What have you done?
You're a teacher. We did
The truck driver said you ain't did nothing, yo. You just had a job, yo. That is crazy, yo. The truck driver who said he did nothing but drive trucks said he did more than the teacher. That is wild, yo. When a truck driver does more for the community than the teacher, you know we're in trouble. I'm talking about black people across the world. We're in trouble. When a truck driver who just drives trucks all day, did more for kids and black folks than a teacher. That is amazing. Yo, that is self-hatred, man.
the same amount.
No.
You didn't do nothing
What
either.
have you done?
I teach too. I teach
What have you
children
done
all
for
the
black
time.
people?
I teach children all the time. And
I
out
hear
of
you.
us sitting here,
No, one second. I'm asking you.
Okay, so he just said he did nothing for them but drive trucks, and now he teaches children all the time. Okay, what do you teach, bro? Of course, the obvious question is, what did you teach?
I'm just asking
two guys sitting here, you're the more feminine one.
Listen,
If I seen you on the street, I would assume that you were homosexual.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
You are
Yell.
homosexual. Huh?
You don't have to lie. Just hold on one second. What have you done for black people?
I teach like you teach.
I dare you
yeah,
to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store, preloaded.
You just got paid to do it. You didn't do it for free. You were self-serving. You were self-serving. Everything you did was for pay.
I see. So when I was running a nonprofit that I created and didn't get a penny for it, what about that?
Everybody that starts a nonprofit, that's one of the biggest reasons why they started.
I see.
That's one of the biggest reasons why they start the nonprofit is for the salary. It's for the salary. No, that's true. It's for the salary.
That's how I know that you've never started anything, because number one, nonprofits don't make money. Number two, when you start them from scratch, there's no salary.
Yeah.
There's no salary when you start from scratch. And then number three, we had no grants. We only had money that came directly from the people, the black people of Baltimore, from the churches of Baltimore, and it went directly into programming. I never took a salary, not one time in that nonprofit, not one time. And here's the worst thing about people like you. You're so effeminate. You come on here and lie. You've already said that you don't speak while I'm speaking. You've already said that you don't know who I am, yet you're telling me that I took a salary. That's really sad.
Right, DJ. It hurt for the saint to remind him he did nothing for black people. His own words in front of all those listeners. That bothered him, that he admitted he done nothing. Yo, he knew he messed up. He admitted in front of all those live viewers that he did nothing but that bothered him. So of course he would come back, and now he's a teacher too. Like, oh, come on, bro. Oh shit. Now everybody teacher.
Bad, my dear boy, because you're so blatantly.
Boy, you like boys, huh? You like boys, don't you?
You're so frivolous, and you are the reason that blacks suffer. Look at you smiling when you know nothing is funny.
It is funny to me. You're hilarious. You look like
when you know nothing is funny.
You look like the Joker.
And the worst part about it is that you're just a struggling YouTuber.
Now that part was funny. He said, "You look like the Joker." So that was his first real good comeback. He said the Joker with his uniform. That was the first good comeback.
Like
when you know nothing is,
but it wasn't more funnier than him getting cooked earlier. So he's still down big time.
Funny.
You look like the Joker.
And the worst part about it is that you're just a struggling YouTuber who came on to get clout. You're not an honorable man at all. You have no actual thoughts or ideas. You've done nothing at all.
You're not an honorable man.
And then we know that you're
just
weak.
a funny looking guy.
That's where Saint dropped the ball. When he said he teaches, for me, my obvious follow-up question, like, dude, what did you teach? What did you teach the kids? Because just because you teach doesn't mean it's good. Were you teaching the kids how to roll a fat blunt? Were you teaching the kids how to weigh coke. You dig? What were you teaching them? See, Saint is kind of more serious. He's more professional. I can get goofy like this guy right here, because the guy seems like he's kind of funny. But I can get goofy like him, and I got like a humor to go back and forth with him. Saint doesn't have that humor. Saint is more serious. He's more to the point. He's more educational. I got that humor to go low with the guy. Because I've been like, here I am teaching kids, tech, and you out there teaching kids how to roll blunts. That's what I would have said. Yeah, I would have said, yeah, I would have got him. And I would have got him mad. Like, you out here teaching kids how to join gangs and roll bandanas. Yeah, I would have got him. How to steal bicycles. Like, that's like, you the 50-year-old kid in the neighborhood. You the 50-year-old kid in the neighborhood with the big baggy pants, with the J's on, old as hell, trying to look like them. Tattoos off your earrings off your face, teaching them how to break into a goddamn convenience store. Like, yeah, I mean, I would have went there and pissed them off.
You're not an honorable man.
And then we know that
You're just a
weak
funny-looking guy that speaks funny, thinks he's.
What are the chances that you call me funny-looking?
Yeah,
what
you look
are
weird.
the chances?
You look weird.
You're
You're sitting there with that weird head, that weird suit.
You need to cut your hair off. Listen, you see that I'm bald? I'm bald because I realized that I need to cut my hair off. Your hairline is way back here. You're wearing cornrows like it's 1992.
You wish you had hair like this.
You look like the third member of Outkast that got kicked out. You look like a super beat down big boy.
I'm of the community. I'm of the community.
Your chin hairs look like pubic hairs. You're utterly ridiculous. You're clearly overweight. I can see the fat in your face.
No, I'm just a big
You are
nigga.
a complete dweeb. If you took off your shirt, your chest would hang down like a woman's. You're in poverty. You have a beat up background. You're a nobody YouTuber. You're a 50-year-old trying to become a YouTuber. Please stop. You have nappy eyebrows. How do you have nappy eyebrows? How's that even possible?
Black people got nappy hair. I'm black. I got nappy hair.
Possible, bro.
I got nappy hair.
You're a disgusting individual. Your bottom row of teeth, if you bit into a sandwich, it looked like a puzzle piece. You need emergency dental help. You have a gap in your tooth like you grew up in the third world. Why can't you see a dentist? This is ridiculous. You have gray hair on the sides, but still no wisdom. Your hairline is back here, but you just don't let go.
I don't have my hair like you.
Why won't you let go? Your hairline's back here.
You have on makeup.
No, honestly,
you have on makeup.
Now, that's a funny comeback with the makeup.
Why not give it up?
Why not just be who you are? You're a bottom.
You have a shine on your forehead because you clearly have a desk lamp shining on your face instead of studio soft lights. You're in poverty. You're in real poverty.
No, I'm not.
Why do poor blacks like you come on and babble?
No, I do live in the hood. I do live.
All right, but now that's where Saint went left. When he did the poverty thing, it's like, dude, Saint, most people watch you are probably in poverty. Most of your fans are in poverty. So that's that Billy Carson thing. Yeah, you want to stay away when if you are, because again, we don't know these guys in real life. We don't know if Saint is successful or not. We just take his word because he said he is, but nobody knows him. So he could be faking or whatever. We don't know, but we'll take his word. Okay, let's say if you are successful, dude. Was successful black men, was taboo and make you lose your audience? Do not get on people because they're poor, because most likely all of your audience is probably in poverty. So this is where he went left, and this is where the guy got the best of Saint.
You eat cup of noodles every day.
Yeah, I do live in the hood.
You eat cup of noodles every day, but you're here arguing with me.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have said that, because that's people real life. So they're looking like, hey, what's wrong eating? So the person listening to him right now is eating a cup of noodles. So they're like, hey, man, what is wrong with noodles? All right. So let me pause that there because it was almost over anyway. But that was funny, man. That was super, super, super funny. I had something else for you guys. Yeah, he messed up when he went that far. he kind of like lost his listeners for a second. Oh, focus. Yeah, you don't want to do that. You want to go to if you are successful, you're black. You don't want to diss people without money because you're dissing your audience, a large part of them. So you got to be careful. I'm trying to look for me and Focus video that I thought I put up. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So now I just want to show you my range, you know. So Focus wanted to debate me on abortions, right? So now, Focus versus unbiased round. It says claim, because this is Focus claim. The claim that most abortion clinics are located in Black or Hispanic neighborhoods is false. Okay, so the claim that most abortion clinics are located, this is why Candace Owens, you know, I'm sure she never see my comments, but I did try to call her out on the same talking points. I know
or promoting those judges to be superior. Dude, that's the actual.
Okay, that was my video. I thought one of y'all called in. All right, so here's the thing. Focus like to borrow his style and arguments from Umar and Candace Owens only. He don't have original talking points, right? So Candace Owens goes on and on about this, and I tried like hell to get her attention. I was commenting. I wanted to debate her on the same thing me and Focus about to argue. I wanted to debate her on pro-life, pro-choice. Matter of fact, I was trying to debate anybody. I went to like these pro-life, you know, they got the little enclaves and videos. I was in their stuff, arguing about trying to get somebody to come over here and debate me on pro-life versus pro-choice, and they just ran their mouth. But nobody, you know, white folks are no different than tethers. Like they talk a lot, but they don't pull up. So anyway, so here we are.
Definition. You are a eugenicist.
No, I'm not, because the difference, what you're saying.
All right. So the nappy eyebrows. Okay, so DJ, if you believe that most abortion clinics are located in Black and Hispanic neighborhoods, you see it says that's false. So I would second guess that position, because I debated Focus on that premises, and he about to take a super L. The audio's gonna come in very soon.
Or promoting those judges to be superior. Dude, that's the actual definition. You are a eugenicist.
No, I'm not, because the difference, what you're saying, which I just explained to you, is that the eugenics have to take an active, aggressive approach of extermination. They can't wipe people off the planet through cohabitation alone. We are the debunking of eugenics. We are the debunking of Darwin's evolutionary theory. We're not eugenicists. That makes no sense. I'm telling you the power of Black people. I'm not telling you that that's my global mission, that we're going to march into every white neighborhood and say, bring your daughter out here. God damn it, it's trenching. Drop them draws.
Yeah. Even your boy, Blue Devil. Your boy Blue Devil said, DJ Focus, you lost this one. That's
you
eugenics.
So you wrong, yeah, but I just said,
that's eugenics, my man. That's definition.
All right, but that was before Blue Devil just heard me what I just said, my rebuttal, which is that I'm not actively going into white communities asking for their daughters to drop their drawers so we can wipe them off the planet. Eugenics is an active movement of exterminating Black people. They put 79% of abortion clinics in your communities.
Okay, so now DJ X1, this is your position, because you said most abortions, like DJ Focus, are in the Black community. All right. Well, he gave a stat. Listen.
They put so we can wipe them off the planet. Eugenics is an active movement of exterminating Black people. They put 79% of abortion clinics in your community, exterminating Black people.
Okay. So he said they put 79% of abortion clinics in our Black ADOS FBA communities. DJ, do you agree with that?
They put, which is that I'm not actively going into white communities asking for their daughters to drop their drawers so we can wipe them off the planet. Eugenics is an active movement of exterminating Black people. They put 79% of abortion clinics in your community, Black people. They put 79% of abortion active movement of exterminating Black people. They put 79% of abortion clinics.
Right. So now read the rectangular. No, read the text that's being rectangle, chat, because he just said they put 79% of abortion clinics in our community. The study says a 2014 study by the Gut Matcher Institute found that only 9%. So that's a big gap. He says 79. That's pretty much 8 out of 10. And this is saying 9%. This is basically 1 out of 10. So how do we go from 8 out of 10 to 1 out of 10? Why is this saying only 9% of abortion clinics were located in Black majority neighborhoods? So it says the opposite, DJ. It says majority of abortion clinics are in white neighborhoods. How can that be possible? Why is it saying the opposite of DJ Focus? What is he reading that got him so confused and wrong against the worst man on earth? You're wrong against me. So I'm going to cook fillet the hell out
you. It's in your community.
DJ, man, your boy Blue Devil said DJ Focus, you lost this one. That's
you
eugenics.
You wrong, yeah, but I just said.
That's eugenics, man. That's definition.
All right, but that was before Blue Devil just heard me what I just said, my rebuttal, which is that I'm not actively going into white communities asking for their daughters to drop their drawers. They put 79% of abortion clinics in your communities. They are.
Well, you just made that up. Yeah, no, you just made that up. You keep saying that. You
to drop their drawers so we can wipe them off the planet. Eugenics is an active movement of exterminating Black people. They put 79% of abortion clinics in your communities. They are.
Well, you just made that up. Yeah, no, you just made that up. You keep saying.
So it looks like his data is wrong.
I'm gonna have to be stuck in 1 minute after y'all went for
all right,
2 minutes.
Hold that point up. All right, hold that point up, because my new name is Barry Bonds. I'm about to knock you dude out the park. Okay, so this is the Gut Matcher Institute. Claim that most abortion clinics are located in Black or Hispanic neighborhoods is false. Gut Matcher Advisory updated in June 2014. Okay, key findings. About 6 in 10 abortion providers are located in neighborhoods where more than half of the residents are white. Your research is piss poor, my man. You can't fuck with me on no level. Fewer than
the
one
Gut Matcher Institute.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done. Dude, now I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it because you cut in. I'm going to miss you. I bodied you. I bodied. He's a clown. Let me share my screen.
Spanish or anything between.
Let me share my screen. This guy.
I'm biased. I'm biased.
Yeah.
You gotta give it to him though, because you essentially asked
right.
him what's
now they're trying to do a 2-on-1, 2v1.
the methodology behind how they arrived at that number, and he gave you withering detail right there. Like I can't imagine anything being.
I didn't give you no withering detail. I gave you the 2010 census. Okay, which is what the Guttmacher report used. Then we give you a detailed map of where everything is at. Then you can drop in. Hold up, bro. Then you can
stop yelling though, bro. We good,
hold on then. Because then you can use this to drop in on each neighborhood and show where exactly it's at.
Yeah, you scored a point, my boy. Hey, you gotta know when you You got to know when you won, bro. Like you
well,
scored.
Thank you. I appreciate scoring that
Yeah,
point.
you hit an and 1-3 right there, dog. You won, bro.
All
He
right,
got to
thank you.
come back now.
Nah.
Oh, he got to come back.
Nah,
Oh,
nah,
okay,
nah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he got to
Okay.
come. So the government would be a source outside of the website, right?
Right.
That DJ Focus put up. True or not true?
Yeah.
Okay. So that obviates your point about it possibly being some fudge statistic and them not
Yeah, but
having.
they don't have a site though. They don't have a link.
No, hold on, Unbiased. You said they don't have sources outside of themselves, and that's
that's it.
That's you just admitted that that's untrue.
No,
I
just said they only. Yeah, what are you sipping on?
Flip flopping.
I just said that they don't have a link. Like I said, the Gut Matcher website. It shows you a link going to somebody outside themselves, outside their web. It takes you out from their website.
The Gut Matcher's
What
website
link?
was
Look, this guy talking over me. This guy talking over me. So, hey Haskell, what link do his website have that's taking me away from their website that I can look at these numbers?
Okay, so you want to link directly to the U.S. Census then, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't even on the Gut Matcher's
And then he got
website.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he got it.
All right. I don't
that
see
wasn't even on the Gut Matcher's website. Not only that, if they say they got their stuff from the U.S. Census, you can go to the U.S. Census and juxtapose it yourself. If you want to challenge the veracity of their particular, their particular site, which you just said .org.com, like in every way you lost that. So like,
actually, you only lost that.
Yeah,
you showed me a website.
I'm biased. He brought a source, right?
Yeah.
And basically, your contention is that possibly this source that he's bringing is falsifying information.
Yeah.
Right, and that's not really. That's not much of a defense, bro. Like you just say they lying.
Okay,
Haskell. Sometimes a nigga just get you, bro. Like I've been got.
Haskell. Again, got me how? I provide a source. You provide a source. Who's right? Who's wrong? Okay, Haskell. I got a source. You got a source. Who's wrong? Who's right? My source say that they're in white neighborhoods. His source say they're in black neighborhoods. Who's right? Who's wrong?
You're wrong.
Yeah, but you basically imply that there was no method.
Okay, so Star Child said, "How does he know what he's reading is correct? They will tell us anything." So that's the tricky thing, Star Child. Is that at some point we got to agree, because what you asked was a good question. So that's why at some point we got to agree what's acceptable, right? When we have a debate, we got to agree on what research is acceptable and what research is probably not, credible. Because if we can't do that, then Star Child, you're right, and the debate is useless because we're reading things that we disagree with. But fortunately for us, Star Child, we accepted the same research. So it's all fair game. He accepts the Gut Macker. I do too. So that means that now we got to just debate it out. But but we agreed to the term. We agreed that this institution is fair enough. And we agreed. That's all we need to know, that we agreed on the websites and things like that to support.
Methodology behind how they arrived at the numbers, and he
Okay,
gave you.
they said.
And you called me a terrible researcher.
What's their methodology?
And you told me all this extra stuff.
I'm going to read it.
You used the .com.
I'm going to read that methodology. You tell me how they are. Okay. All right. So let me put this crazy ass. I know you sipping. Look, it says 2010 census. Now look, it says 2010 census. Can we get that census?
Okay.
We get that census. It says results. Okay. So now they have no link.
That was the
let me share
audio.
my screen.
Not me.
Okay. All right. 2010 census results.
That ain't me. That's the audio.
My biological father is Dr. Umar. He has another daughter. I tried to contact him about, getting to know my sister on my dad's side. I asked him if he knows her or if he has her number. He ignored me and never responded. I'm 22 years old now. My dad has never been to anything important, no graduation, no birthday parties, nothing. He has not been in my life. Again, I'm not making this video to bash him. I'm making this video to state facts, okay? You can't get on Instagram and get on social media and portray to be an activist and talk about how black kings need to be with black women, but you're not even in your black woman's daughter's life. It doesn't make sense. You're being a hypocrite. And it's frustrating because I reached out to you. I reached out to you. I shouldn't have had to do that. I'm your daughter. But I'm smart enough and logical enough to know that you would never reach out to me because you don't have my phone number. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't try to reach out to me because for what? I don't want anything out of you. I want nothing but a conversation. Forget the relationship. I really don't care too much about that at this point. I just wanted a conversation out of you and you shut me down. You ignored me. You should never be too busy for your daughter ever in life. So I just wanted to make this video to just try to, I guess, somehow find my sister on my dad's side. So if you see this, please reach out to me. Please DM me because I want to know who you are.
6.5 hours later.
Hello guys, so I just wanted to come on here with a small update. I just got off the phone with Dr. Umar's other daughter's mother, and she just told me that that's her daughter. So yes, y'all, I found her. I'm going to give her a call and talk to my sister when she gets out of school. So, and I just wanted to answer a couple questions. All that, oh, are you going to show up the DNA test? No, because it's not your business. Why? I don't have to prove nothing to y'all internet folks. I know what it is in real life. So no, you're not getting a DNA test. What else have I seen? Why are you coming to the internet with this? I already tried to get in contact with him. He shut me down and ignored me. What else I've been seeing? Oh, you trying to tear down Dr. Umar? No, I'm not. He tore himself down by not building a relationship with his own daughter. What's another question I saw? It's a bunch of questions I seen, but y'all don't know nothing. That's my dad. I have the right. And that's my sister. I have the right. Clock it.
A few minutes later.
I just want to say this to all my supporters out there, my true supporters. My true supporters. It ain't that many of my true supporters. But for my true supporters, I want y'all to stay focused. There's a lot of slander going on. There's a lot of lies being pushed out there. There's people trying to use my name to build themselves up. I just want you to be really, really careful right now. Be patient, stay focused. Be patient, stay focused. Be patient, stay focused, brothers and sisters. Y'all know me too well. Y'all know my love for children is too strong. Y'all know me too well for anybody to be coming out the woodworks telling you they've been trying to reach me when my number has been public for 20 years. Listen, brothers and sisters, I want y'all to listen. My phone number has been the same for 20 years. So anybody telling you they've been trying to reach me and my phone number hasn't changed in 20 years, mind you, I speak at graduations in Philadelphia all the time. I'm on the street in Philadelphia all the time. I have events in Philadelphia all the time. I got family in Philadelphia everywhere. And you've been trying to find me? Stop the cap now. Can we please stop the cap, brothers and sisters? Can we please stop the cap, brothers and sisters? But let me say this. The quickest way for you to get blocked or put on the FDMG Book of Negro list, the quickest way for you to get blocked or get put on the FDMG Book of Negro list, shout out to my Stockholm, Sweden Africans. I'm so happy to be in Stockholm, Sweden. I can't wait to take some pictures with our beautiful Stockholm African queens, our beautiful Scandinavian queens. I heard the Norway Africans is coming. We got Paris Africans coming. We got London Africans coming. We got Scottish Africans coming. We got Irish Africans coming. Pull up Saturday. It's going down. Ghanaian independence. King Kong consciousness. But let me say this. Let me say this. If you mind my personal business, I don't care who you are, I strongly recommend you mind your business, because if you don't, you will be blocked. and put in the book of Negroes. Oh no. Oh no. As you see on my social media, I've been blocking people who think my business is their business. And if I block you, you automatically in the book of Negroes. So take a risk at your own peril. But I will say this. I'm open to the conversation. Where is Mama Smurf at? Get daughter Smurf and Mama Smurf and then Papa Smurf, and we're gonna have a nice conversation in front of the world. Let's get to the bottom of this. And I'm gonna bring white man paperwork. Oh yes, I have all of my white man paperwork. So, baby Smurf, please get Mama Smurf, and Papa Smurf is gonna pull up. And let's have the conversation. Okay? Okay? Let's have a conversation for the whole world. That's all we got to do. But later for that, if anybody needs to reach me while I'm in Sweden, you can still text me. If you need to reach me while I'm in Sweden, you can still text me 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. Let them drag my name through the mud. I love the mud. As a child, I used to play in the mud. Let them drag Nana Payana's name through the mud, because one thing we know about the mud is all living things get their nutrients from the mud. The lotus flower comes up out the mud. Where does the lotus flower come? It comes from the mud of the ocean, the mud of the river, and it pushes through the mud up to the sun. So I ain't got no problem with people throwing my name in the mud. I love the mud. I love the soil. Didn't God make the black man and black woman from the black mud, the black soil? So let them throw my name in. Let them curse me and mock me. Let them ridicule me and slander me. Brothers and sisters, the closer we get to FDMG, the closer we get to FDMG, the closer we get to FDMG, the more slander there will be. I said the closer we get to FDMG, the more slander there will be. I said the closer we get to FDMG, the more slander that we will see, brothers and sisters. And I'm built for it. The son of Ogun. I got my 2 spiritual machetes ready. If they want to send children to do their dirty work, send the children. If they want to send the children to do their dirty work, send the children. Send who you must. But if you don't know by now, if you don't know by now who the chosen one of this generation is, you must be dumb, deaf, and blind. If you don't know who the ancestors sent in this generation, I can't speak to the previous generation, and I can't speak to the next generation. But in this generation, I think we all know who the chosen one is, brothers and sisters. But like I said, the best thing you can do, or the worst thing you can do, is mind my business, because I'm going to block your ass. And you're going to be in the book of Negroes. Okay? Trying to build your struggle streamer career off of my back, coming up out of nowhere, acting like you've been looking for me. Get Mama Smurf. When can the 3 of us have a sit down? I'm ready for this. I'm ready for it. When can Mama Smurf, Papa Smurf, and Baby Smurf have a sit down? Oh, I'm ready for this. And I will have my white man paperwork. I will have my white man paperwork. When can we do the sit down? When can we do the sit down? Been paying child support since you damn near came out the womb. Deadbeat who? When can we have a sit down? Child support started You wasn't even out your mama yet, and she took me to child support. Deadbeat who? Deadbeat who? Child custody file this thick. What are we talking about? Where is Mama Smurf? Where is Mama Smurf? Can we please have a sit down? Brothers and sisters, you can fool some of the people all the time, and you can fool all the people some of the time. You can fool some of the people all the time, and you can fool all the people some of the time. You can fool all the people some of the time, and you can fool some of the people all the time. But you can't fool the Prince of Pan-Africanism any of the time. Calling me names? Using profanity? Really? Really? Disrespectful mouth? Because you want to build your career. Okay, no problem. Build your career, princess. I want you to be happy. I want you to do what you must do, but you're not going to lie on me. You're not going to lie on me. Lord have mercy. Social media. I told you to mind your business. When I say mind your business, I mean mind your business. Social media has turned our children into a bunch of narcissists. Social media has turned our children into a bunch of narcissists. We will do anything for attention. I'm not getting on nobody live, sister. Let me say this again. Y'all still don't understand. Y'all still at ease, my queen. At ease, my queen. At ease, my queen. Where my Stockholm Africans at? I think I'm going out tonight. Where my Stockholm Africans at? What's popping tonight? We got any black events in Sweden tonight? I think I'm going to walk the streets and pull up tonight. Well, we got some spoken word. We got a conscious cipher. We got a Pan-African powwow. Is there a Pan-African powwow somewhere in Sweden tonight? At ease, my queen. At ease, my queen. I'm not going on nobody's live. If you don't know nothing about me after all these years, you should know one thing. Dr. Umar don't give a damn about what you think of him. I could care less. I love y'all. I love you now. Don't get it twisted. I love my people, my African people, but I don't give a damn what you think of me. I want to be clear now. Your opinion matters not. At ease, my queen. Your opinion matters not. And if you can't tell the difference between somebody hurting and somebody looking for an opportunity, and if you can't tell the difference between somebody hurting and somebody looking for an opportunity, and if you can't tell the difference between somebody hurting and somebody looking for an opportunity, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know. I don't have time for no podcast, my brother. I'm not starting no podcast. Stop trying to turn me into a YouTubian, Dr. Umar. What I need a podcast for when I got more YouTube videos than anybody alive? Why? For what? What I need a podcast for? Why am I interviewing people when I know more than they know? Does that make any sense to you? Why is the scholar interviewing the non-scholar? I don't need no damn podcast. I'm an activist, institution builder. FDMG is coming. FDMG is, where is the mother at? I can't believe all you YouTubians and nobody asked this child, where is your mother? Can we hear from your mother? Where is the mother? Nobody's asking for the mama. Nobody's asking for the mama. Y'all just so anxious to see me belittled. Y'all just so interested in seeing me disgraced. Nobody even said, where's the mama? Can we talk to your mama? Can we talk to your mama? Nobody's asking for the mama. Where is the mama? Where is the mama? Go on her page and say, where is your mama? What is your mama's Instagram? We want to ask her some questions. Where's your mama's face? Where is the mother? And none of y'all asking no questions. None of y'all asking no questions. This is how you know that this is not about the truth. This is how you know this is not about the truth. She living in the mama house and nobody asking where the mama at. Lord have mercy. Look, you can't make this up. You living in the mama house and nobody says, where's your mama? Not one time. Not one time, brothers and sisters. Where the mama at? She know the story. Mama know. Mama knows. Mama know. Where mama at? But you know what? Okay. You got a weave in your head. I want you to get that crusty weave off your head. You know, I'm in Sweden with my Swedish Africans. Can't wait to see everybody. I'm going for a tour tomorrow. I'm going on a tour tomorrow. If you need to reach me, +1 215 989. My Swedish Africans, if you need to reach me, my Scandinavian Africans, my Norway Africans, my French Africans, my British Africans, if you need to reach me, you could text me, WhatsApp or direct. It's up to you. WhatsApp or direct. It's up to you. WhatsApp or direct. It's up to you. +1 215 989 9858. +1 215 989 9858. +1 215 989 9858. Nobody's looking for me, Mrs. Seward. Mind your business. Mind your business. Nobody's looking for me. Everybody knows my number. Everybody knows where I be. My schedule has been online for 15 years. My phone number has been the same for 20 years. My schedule has been online for 15 years. My phone number has been the same for 20 years. My schedule has been online for 15 years. My phone number has been the same for 20 years. I give my phone number out 20 times a lecture. My phone number is posted every week, multiple times. If y'all can't see through these lies, if y'all can't see through these lies, if y'all can't see through these lies, brothers and sisters, if y'all can't see through these lies, Lord have mercy. Lord, I'm just happy 68 years of Ghanaian independence. 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 Happy Independence Day to all my fellow Ghanaian Africans. Happy Independence Day to all my fellow Ghanaian Africans. I am so proud to be a citizen of Ghana. I am so proud to be a citizen of Ghana. This is my first Independence Day as a citizen of Ghana. This is my first Independence Day as a citizen of Ghana. This is my first Independence Day as a citizen of Ghana. I'm going to leave y'all with a few questions. Every time I leave the country, somebody crashes out on me. What is it with me and the United States of acrimony? What is it with me and the United States of acrimony? What is it with the Prince of Pan-Africanism and the United States of acrimony? Every time I leave the North American continent, some shit pops off. Every time I leave the North American continent, some shit pops off. Every time I leave the North American continent, some shit pops off. Have y'all noticed that? Soon when I leave the country, every time I leave America, something pops off. But I'm going to give y'all a few questions to ask. A few questions. If his number hasn't changed in 20 years, why haven't you called for an in-person conversation? You wait until now. Why is that? Why did you wait until now? His number has been the same for 20 years. Why did you wait until now? That's another question. Now, where is your mother? I'm looking forward to the conversation. I'm looking forward to the conversation. I'm in Stockholm right now. I'm in Stockholm right now. I'm in Stockholm right now. Do-do-do-do-do. Really? Somebody said, well, I'm not going to entertain this. I got to maintain discipline. Thank you for recognizing a clout chaser when you see one. Thank you for recognizing a clout chaser when you see one. Thank you for recognizing a clout chaser when you see one. Is there a reason why the mother didn't join her for the video? Why isn't Mama Smurf in the video with Baby Smurf? Why isn't Mama Smurf in the video with Baby Smurf? Why isn't Mama Smurf in the video with Baby Smurf? How you doing, my beautiful African sisters? How y'all doing tonight? Alpha males, unapologetically African, anti-snow bunny alpha male. Sweden, I'm looking forward to seeing my Swedish family. My first time in Sweden, Saturday. I can't wait to see y'all. I can't wait to see y'all. I'm going to talk about Donald Trump's congressional speech the other night. We got to unpack Donald Trump's congressional speech. I want to have a sit down with Mama Smurf and Baby Smurf. Baby Smurf, I want you to call Mama Smurf. This is what we're going to do. Oh, yes, this is what we're going to do. I'm the king of solutions. Baby Smurf, I want you to call Mama Smurf, and I need y'all to tell me where we going to meet at on Thursday. 1 week from today, I want to meet Mama Smurf and Baby Smurf anywhere in the city of Philadelphia. Oh, yes. Baby Smurf, are you listening? Baby Smurf, I want to meet you and Mama Smurf anywhere in Philadelphia. Y'all choose the restaurant. The treat is on me. We can go to Cherry Hill. We can go to, y'all want to come to Wilmington? I tell you what, Baby Smurf and Mama Smurf, I want to come and take y'all on an exclusive tour of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Baby Smurf and Mama Smurf, I want to take y'all on a tour of the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, and I want to take y'all to lunch. Can we work that out? Baby Smurf, Baby Smurf, I want you to get off of social media for a minute. Stop looking ridiculous. Get off social media for a minute, Baby Smurf. Stop looking ridiculous. And I want you to get Mama Smurf. And on Thursday, 1 week from today, I'm calling you out. You and Mama Smurf. I want a respectable, private FDMG tour and luncheon. Baby Smurf, Mama Smurf, and Big Papa. Wilmington, Delaware. Wilmington, Delaware. Let's put it into this right now. Let's see who really telling the lies around here. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Baby Smurf, Mama Smurf, and Big Papa, can we please meet on Thursday? You got red hair. There's nothing more disrespectful than your red hair. A black woman with red hair, you must be Satan's wife. A black woman with red hair, you must be Satan's wife. And I bet you your husband got 3 raisins on his top lip, a crust stash. You got red hair and your husband got 3 raisins on his top lip, a crust stash. Happy 68th Ghanaian independence. I said happy 68th Ghanaian independence. Crust stash, craisin, A craisin crustache. 3 craisins on his top lip. With your red head. A craisin. Can we listen? Baby Smurf and Mama Smurf. And I know Mama Smurf want to see me because she ain't seen me in so long. Mama Smurf, you want to see King Kong, don't you? Mama Smurf. Mama Smurf. Where you hiding at, Mama Smurf? Mama Smurf, why you hiding and you got Baby Smurf out there doing your dirty work? Mama Smurf, where Mama Smurf at? Mama Smurf, this ain't good, Mama Smurf. You shouldn't have Baby Smurf out there. But this is what I want to do. I'm going to meet with Mama Smurf and Baby Smurf one Thursday from today. Can I please meet with Mama Smurf and Baby Smurf 1 week from today? We're going to go to lunch and we're going to sit down, the 3 of us, and work this out. Baby Smurf, you know my number because you been had my number. You can lie on social media. You can lie all you want on social media. I know the truth. I'm not crashing out. No, this is not no crashing out. This is an invitation to a beautiful black queen and a beautiful black princess to clear the air. This is a conversation for a beautiful African queen and a beautiful African princess to clear the air. This is a conversation for a beautiful African queen and a beautiful African princess to clear the air. 1 week from today, can we have lunch? I just want to have lunch. Can everybody go back over to Baby Smurf? Go to Baby Smurf and tell her that King Kong wants to have lunch with you on Thursday. Can we have a face-to-face lunch on Thursday? All my Dr. Umar supporters, flood her inbox. What time and where at on Thursday? That's all we want to know. What time and where at on Thursday? That's all I want to know. What time and where at on Thursday, 7 days from Ghana's Independence Day. 1 week from Ghanaian independence, I want to have a sit down with Mama Smurf and Baby Smurf. You want to have lunch with me, Tina Swagsby? Tina Swagsby, we can't have lunch, Sister Tina. I love you. I love you, Tina Swagsby, but we can't have lunch. And do you want to know why we can't have lunch, Tina Swagsby? Because your hair is not yours. I love you, my sister. No disrespect. I love you, my sister. No disrespect. Tina Swagsby, I love you. You are my African sister. I love you. But we can't have lunch because you don't wear your own hair. I need black women to go natural. I need black women to go natural. A relentless, are you minding my business? Because I'm going to block you. At ease, my queen. At ease, my queen. At ease, my queen. Tina not offended. Tina know I love her, but y'all know I'm all about happy to be nappy. You need to get right with Baby Smurf. Oh, gosh. Baby Smurf, Mama Smurf, and I know Mama Smurf want to see me. I know Mama Smurf want to see me. Mama Smurf need a hug from Papa Bear. Mama Smurf need a hug from Papa Bear because she ain't seen me in like 2 decades. So Mama Smurf is overdue for a hug from Papa Bear. But Mama Smurf, you shouldn't have Baby Smurf out here tripping like this. This is wrong now because you know what you've done. You should not have Baby Smurf tripping out here like this. Okay. Crusty. There go another crusty ninja. Your lips is so ashy, my ninja. Yo, homie. Your lips is so ashy. It looked like you slept with your lips in the sand for 12 hours. You need to go put some car oil on your ashy ass lips, my ninja, and mind your business. Coming on here with your ashy ass lips and 3 craisins looking like a crust stash. We're going to make it up. You know, all will be well. When she realizes that you can't bully me or intimidate me, when she realizes that I don't respond to slander, and she's ready to have a sit-down conversation, everything will work itself out. Everything will work itself out. Everything will work itself out. But it will not be worked out on social media. I'm inviting Baby Smurf and Mama Smurf to lunch on Thursday. I'm inviting Baby Smurf and Mama Smurf to lunch on Sunday. I'm inviting Baby Smurf and Mama Smurf to lunch on Thursday. You know Mama Smurf want to give me a hug. Y'all know Mama Smurf want to give me a hug. Okay. I hate the internet too. Well, y'all got to stay focused. I'm going to stay focused. Clout chasing. Clout chasing. Our ancestors got this. Our ancestors got this. Ancestors got this. Are you Christian? No, I'm African. I'm sorry, I'm African. Two 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. If you need to text me, 215-989-9858. Swedish Africans, I'm in the building. Ghanaian Africans, happy independence. This is your brother King Kong. Peace and Pan-Africanism.
So, what Baba, why have you? There are four sentiments that are often expressed by our young brothers and sisters when we engage them, our FBA family, and they are our family. And when they express them, what they'll say is, well, like Baba James, he aligns with us. But I want to share these four sentiments with you, and I can do it one at a time, or I can give you all four, and I want you to be able to just
respond. All four, and I can respond, because if I'm late for my sister's birthday, she's going to kill me.
Gotcha. All right, so I'll give you all four. I'll give you all four. So these are four of the most common, like, anti-African sentiments we hear being expressed by some of our brothers and sisters. The first one is, Black people in America are not African and have no connection to Africa. We're Native Black Americans. That's one. The second one is, Black people in America may be genetically African, but so is the entire planet. Everybody on Earth is African. That's two. The third one is, African people on the continent don't refer to themselves as Africans. We're the only ones who call ourselves Africans. That's three. And the fourth one is, Black Americans are the only ones who practice Pan-Africanism. Those are the four most common kind of like retorts that we hear. And they always say, well, Baba James Smalls agrees with us. Like,
well, Baba James Smalls is going to tell him, I don't agree to none of that shit I just heard. Because none of it makes sense. You're going to give me the white slop and then give it a name like Foundation of Black America. Don't label me with slop. Explaining what Foundation of Black American is and tell them I'm both.
Explaining what Foundation of Black American is and tell them I'm both.
Foundation of Black American, that we have a right to identify ourselves in the same way any other ethnic group. And I think I used the Jamaican community. They don't call themselves African, they call themselves Jamaicans. Absolutely. The people from Haiti don't say I'm African, they say I'm Haitian. And we find no contradiction with that. We're the only group in North America that use the term African to describe ourselves.
What they'll say is, well, like Baba James, he aligns with us.
I give Omaweli credit in that he was man enough to call me yesterday and I said, well, what is your beef for Tariq? And he gave some critique about Pan-Africanism and your view on Pan-Africanism or attack of Pan-Africanism. And I gave him my view on you and what I think your view is. And I told him that, the work that you have done bespeaks itself. Now they try to take you out of the picture with the work. I'm still suffering with that. Yeah. But then what happened after the show, I started looking, I just going around internet and had people taking little pieces of what I had said and using that to say, I'm attacking you.
Right.
And that's what pissed me off, because usually I don't get involved in none of this tete-a-tete kind of stuff. So I had to then try to say, okay, let me make a statement. Anyone that took what I said in that show and twisted to be an attack on you was being straight up evil. Collaborators, if not agent themselves.
Yes, indeed.
I don't like to call people agents straight up, but collaborators can come from just being ignorant or selfish or being anti-freedom. And so when I hear people going and attacking you, and when I ask them, why are you attacking? You can have a reason to criticize a brother. That's one thing. The criticism is one thing. Outright attack, defaming, that's something else.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm seeing on the internet. There's defamation because somebody disagreed with something that you said. I've watched your work. I choose to work with you.
If we're saying that citizenship in this country has value, and if we're saying part of the value that it has is because there were people in this country that fought. See, what you're saying is that nobody can get ahead of me, or nobody should be able to get ahead of me. If I had to fight for citizenship for a very long time, this should be one of the most difficult countries in the world to obtain citizenship, because this country is still trying to make up for what it did to the descendants of slaves in this country, of chattel slavery in this country. When the country is still trying to make up for that, what you're basically saying is, no. They don't have full citizenship yet. We're going to use the largesse of government to make sure that these people have citizenship before we take care of anybody else, before anybody else gets in the line. We're going to make sure they have enough wealth. We're going to make sure that they can't fall below a certain point. We're going to make sure that all that stuff is taken care of. They have enough money. If they want to have kids, they can have them. We're going to make sure that happens. And we've always said, well, we don't want to have no oppression Olympics. It's not an oppression Olympics. I told y'all before, it's not an oppression Olympics because we won. Nobody wants to compare oppression because they know if they do, we win. That's like somebody telling you, remember when you were young, somebody used to, let's race. Somebody, I don't want to race. Yeah, because you lose. People who don't nobody want to do, if you say, let's fight. I don't want to fight. Yes, I know why. So, yes, they don't want to say, like, we don't want to do oppression Olympics. And we went right along with it. This is what we lost. And they had to back up from it. Yes, nobody wants to compare. And we have gotten caught up in this idea that we should not compete. We have to compete because you're in a competition right now for resources. Anybody who tells you that you're not in a competition for resources is lying to your face. And you can tell them that Yvette D. Carnell said you are a liar and we are competing for resources. And you cannot compete for anything if you don't compare. You ever competed with somebody in any kind of thing and you don't compare and see how fast you are against them when you want to race? Well, they ran this and I got to get fast. You don't.
But Adams, I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, ever since I was hearing about this whole ADOS, from the minute I heard about it, it was like a division.
Yeah.
Amongst black people.
Yeah.
It was a division. It seemed like some sort of, well, you're not American enough. Like, what's your lineage? Like,
but Adams,
I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, ever since I was hearing about this whole ADOS, from the minute I heard about it, it was like a division.
Yeah.
Amongst black people.
Yeah.
It was a division. It seemed like some sort of, well, you're not American enough. Like, what's your lineage?
What's this whole ADOS movement? And how is this? How is that not something that's kind of divisive amongst people in this country? Like how do we decide who's who?
See what I'm saying? How disrespectful they've been to them. Exactly.
Right, but then this is also, to
That's
me,
foul.
I see this as a divide and conquer thing. So now I'm supposed to give oh, word? That's what the Jamaicans are saying? Well, then fuck that. You know.
And on the list of tangibles, I would assume that that's where this ADOS comes in, because I'm thinking that certain people would hope that the tangibles, that the part of the tangibles would be reparations for the ADOS movement. Yes?
Yes.
Is that what I'm to believe? Now,
not just that, but definitely number one on the list.
Right.
I definitely touch it when you're ready, Jay. I'm not gonna have
yes. Before you add on, I just would like to say now there's some that feel that this movement is quite divisive and just another way to divide black people.
Foundational black Americans, because over here in the North American continent, us foundational black Americans, we are the founders of the United States. There was no United States until foundational black Americans built it. So we are acknowledging our own designation. So that's not divisive, because other groups do this.
And I just feel like we need to come together as black people, you know what I mean, as much as possible. And it just feels like that type of thought, and I understand where you're coming from with it, but it feels like that type of thought helps to divide instead of bring us more together.
Okay, this is the problem, Lord Jamal. That division is caused by non-FBA. Foundational black Americans, we have been the only people fighting for everybody.
First of all, you know, there's a lot of divide and conquer with this. There's a lot of bullshit that goes into this talk of reparations. You know, as far as who gets it, and
both of my parents, on both sides of the family, we can trace everything back to plantations in Alabama and North Carolina. So my family, 100% foundational black Americans. Nobody in my family immigrated.
How many people can do that, though?
We can. We can do that. Most of us can.
How many that are claiming to be can really do that? Keep it real.
You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mama and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right. So a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically, this is not no easy shit to do these traces. Like, I physically have been through this shit. Like, I've seen it. Like, I went down that rabbit hole for a second. And when you get to all of that slavery type of shit, like, the records are not what you think.
There's outliers to it, but generally, it's pretty easy to trace your lineage back to slavery, to a plantation. Or it's easy to trace your lineage back to at least the 1870 census. The average person who can trace their lineage back to 1870, 9 times out of 10, you came from a slave plantation, because they'll list you as a farm worker or domestic or something like that. So that means you came most likely from a slave plantation. And that's a little bit different from somebody who immigrated over, because you wouldn't be eligible for a reparations claim. We can't open up that door, and this is for several reasons. If we start letting African and Caribbean brothers start getting reparations based on the Jim Crow treatment, then what's going to happen? The damn white Hispanics are going to start saying, okay, well, damn it, I was mistreated too. And then it's going to undermine the reparations claim. We respect CARICOM. Over in the Caribbean, they have a reparations movement.
My thing is, there was a lot of suffering done by all of us at different times in America. I don't give a fuck if you got to America 5 years ago, from whatever fucking country. If you black, you're gonna go through you're gonna suffer some bullshit.
Let's just say we all get $2 million, all black people that can prove it, that, they have lineage here in these North America, and they were slaves here, and they get $2 million. What the fuck do you think these motherfuckers are gonna do with that money? Fuck. They just give the money right back. They just would give the money right back. Just like you get your taxes and all that tax time coming, half of these motherfuckers giving that shit right back to the within 6 hours sometimes in the motherfucking black community. Needs to be running around with, like, the shit would be fucking crazy. Like, and all the guns and, and Mercedes and blinged out, it would just be fuck. They just give the money right back. They just would give the money right back. Just like you get your taxes and all that tax time coming, half of these motherfuckers giving that shit right back to the within 6 hours sometimes in the motherfucking black community. Needs to be running around with, like, the shit would be fucking crazy. Like, and all.
Are you Ados?
Here's the thing. On my father's side, no. Okay? We trace back to Guyana. Okay?
So you're Caribbean then?
South American, yes.
Oh, Guyana's not
it's
Caribbean?
a Caribbean, it's in South America, but it's considered Caribbean in a way.
Got it.
It's one of
because whenever I go
South
to
American countries.
the West Indian Day Parade, I'm pretty sure I see Guyana flags flying around.
In South America.
Right.
Just like you might see Honduras or something like, but that's all in South America. So anyway, now my mother is adopted, so I don't know her. I still got to do some research on, you know what I mean? I actually discovered one side of her father. Now I got to trace where his family's from, but I did the trace on my father's side. So on that side, no, I'm not Ados. It's possible I'm on my mother's side I am. But see, again, that's some bullshit.
But anyway, who here in America are direct descendants of the slavery, and I'm assuming that that happened here on this land in America, and they're probably not even thinking about South America or anything like that. But let's just say they're isolating it to just here in just America. Well, now immediately they've isolated the South Americans.
You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mom and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right. So a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically, this is not no easy shit to do these traces. Like, I physically have been through this shit. Like, I've seen it. Like, I went down that rabbit hole for a second. And when you get to all of that slavery type of shit, like, the records are not what you.
Both of my parents, on both sides of the family, we can trace everything back to plantations in Alabama and North Carolina. So my family, 100% foundational Black Americans. Nobody in my family immigrated.
How many people can do that, though? Do you think?
We can. We can do that. Most of us can.
How many that are claiming to be can really do that? Keep it real.
You can trace your family lineage at least back to 1870. You can trace your family back to the 1870 census. If you know your mom and you know your daddy, their name has been documented somewhere. You know where to trace them.
Right.
So
a lot of them had just first names, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, I physically, this is not no easy shit to do these traces. Like, I physically have been through this shit. Like, I've seen it. Like, I went down that rabbit hole for a second. And when you get to all of that slave,
there are outliers
shit to it.
There's outliers to it, but generally, it's pretty easy to trace your lineage back to slavery, to a plantation, or it's easy to trace your lineage back to at least the 1870 census. The average person who can trace their lineage back to 1870, 9 times out of 10, you came from a slave plantation because they'll list you as a farm worker or domestic or something like that. So that means you came most likely from a slave plantation. And that's a little bit different from somebody who immigrated over because you wouldn't be eligible for a reparations claim.
It's my great-grandfather on my father's side that wasn't born here.
It's my great-grandfather on my father's side that wasn't born here.
How does one know? that they're foundational American. I, a few years back, did a like an ancestral so I had just did on my father's side, right? But in doing all of this, and I'm going to tell you, it traced back to Guyana, right?
Okay, right.
So I had just did on my father's side, right? And I'm going to tell you it traced back to Guyana.
We can trace back.
My family suffered from redlining and all that type of shit, because I know how you feel about like Jamaicans that come here right now, this generation, and they're able to get loans. My family didn't go through that. My family didn't get all that when they came here. We lived as regular black people. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. That would not, if they came over and they immigrated, because your family came from immigrants. They immigrated over here, and you can
Ellis Island.
Because your family came from immigrants. They immigrated over here, and you can Ellis Island.
Right.
I know the vote.
That's very different, because you can't get a reparations claim like that.
Because you can't get a reparations claim like that.
And it's very important to not mix it up.
But now keep in mind, this is just my father's side.
I understand that.
We all have two sides now. My mother's side, I ain't traced that yet.
Y'all would know who the southern side of her family was. So if y'all don't know, that means she's from the Caribbean. If I can understand that you don't know your dad, that's one thing. And your mom didn't tell you where your grandmother was from? Your mom didn't say shit? She had to come from somewhere, either immigrated from another country or came from the South. If she's black, right? It's just find out where your parents are from and where your grandparents are from. Your grandmother, if you knew your grandmother has a birth certificate, brother. Look at the birth certificate and see where she was born. And then see what her mother and father's name was. It's on the birth certificate. And then see where they were born. You trace it back like that. And if you can go all the way back to the 1870 census, that make you a foundational black American. All you got to do is just trace the parents back. Okay, some of these folks, you don't know where your mama's really from. Okay, like my mom's from New York. We kind of lost, and then, okay. Well, folks, okay. I don't know how y'all don't be knowing where your mama from. And you don't know your mama's side of the family. At least I can understand the dad's side might be a little sketchy, but you don't know your mama's side of the family? See, that raises red flags. That raises a lot of red flags from folks don't be knowing what their mama's side of the family is. All right. That's weird.
And I feel like they want us to spend our energy on this conversation when we really need to be focusing our energy on more practical things.
So when are we going to get ready? We're just not going to be ready for it. And what are we going to do? We're going to blame white people for systemically oppressing us for generations. Yes. We're not even going to try it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We need to. I'm not saying.
I mean, I know, but you just made the point that
African Americans won't get a piece of that. Whereas when it was vice versa back in 2016, the Jamaicans were saying, hey, African Americans, we want a piece of that too, because we were all on the same boat and just got dropped off in different places.
Oh, really?
But do you see how the Jamaicans turned on it?
They're saying, African Americans, you don't get a piece of this. That's the talking.
But you see what I'm saying? How disrespectful they've been to them. Exactly.
Right, but then this is also, to me,
foul.
I see this as a divide and conquer thing. So now I'm supposed to get oh, word? That's what the Jamaicans are saying? Well, then fuck that. You know, if they don't, they trying to keep it, then we're going to keep our shit to ourselves. See, that's the type of attitude that they want to inspire by having these fucking conversations right now, so that we'll be fucking mad at the Jamaicans.
Been a thorn in our side for more than a century
for decades.
Oh, yeah, and we have to contend, because there's just so much confusion, right? So, what Baba, why have you? There are four sentiments that are often expressed by our young brothers and sisters when we engage them, our FBA family, and they are our family. And when they express them, what they'll say is, well, like Baba James, he aligns with us. But I want to share these 4 sentiments with you, and I can do it one at a time, or I can give you all 4. And I want you to be able to just
do
respond.
all 4, and I can respond, because if I'm late for my sister's birthday, she's gonna kill me.
Gotcha. All right, so I'll give you all 4. I'll give you all 4. So these are 4 of the most common like anti-African sentiments we hear being expressed by some of our brothers and sisters. The first one is, Black people in America are not African and have no connection to Africa. We're Native Black Americans. That's one. The second one is, Black people in America may be genetically African, but so is the entire planet. Everybody on Earth is African. That's 2. The third one is, African people on the continent don't refer to themselves as Africans. We're the only ones who call ourselves Africans. That's 3. And the fourth one is, Black Americans are the only ones who practice Pan-Africanism. Those are the 4 most common kind of like retorts that we hear. And they always say, well, Baba James Smalls agrees with us. Like,
well, Baba James Smalls going to tell him I don't agree to none of that shit I just heard, because none of it makes sense. And it alludes to the ignorance of not knowing your history. You know, it alludes to the fact that you don't realize that Kwame Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta, Nyeri were all at the Pan-African Conference in Manchester. And when they all walked away from that conference, they led some of the most fierce revolutions on the continent of Africa based on Pan-Africanism. That we got defeated in many sectors by the enemy at the ideological level. We won at the physical base ground level. We got our land back. We got political independence back. We're still fighting for economic, cultural, and intellectual independence from these people. What is so sad, and normally if you ever see me lecture, I got 1 or 2 books. Whatever subject I'm talking about, I got a book, because y'all need to read, you know, because if you don't know history, how are you going to lead anybody politically? That's the sad part about many of the young people. They don't know history. This thing, I'm from South Carolina. I'm from a population that was here in this country before the Mongolians came to this country, an African population. I know who they are. I grew up attending their grave, the monks where they bury themselves, because our grandfather made sure we clean them every year. I'm also from a population that came in later on with chains on them from Sierra Leone and with chains on them from Uganda. And I know them. These are my great-great-grandparents. I'm only the 4th generation born. Mama first, then second. I'm the 3rd generation African born in this country. From those Sierra Leonean Mende people I'm from those Tutsi people I'm from in Uganda. And I've been out and found my family. So, and for those people who had come by the boats into the Bahamas, into what is Haiti, and made it up through Florida to North America before the Mongolians came across the Bering Strait, they're the same people. They came from the same Sierra Leone, the same Ghana, the same, you understand? The Malian people who came in between those 2 episodes came from the same West African kingdoms.
Yes.
So I don't understand where their brains are when they say, I'm not an African. And all this tells me is that self-hate, self-ignorance, lack of understanding of African history and of history in general are what we are dealing with people who have taken some, what do you call it, clips?
Yeah.
Little sound bites from the internet, and now they've become historians and political leaders because they can get a bunch of people to, when you push the little button for them,
subscribe. Yeah, yeah.
And that's insanity. That's why you see me out here, because I didn't do a lot of stuff on the internet. Or brother says snippets. I like that even better. Okay, snippets. Because I was very quiet for a while. And then I go like, I can't stay quiet. So but the last year and a half, I've just been out here trying to teach as much as I can. And everything has to go back to the history. Yes, we were the first. We're the Aborigine everywhere in the world. Hell, we're the Aborigine in Europe. We're the Aborigine in China. But that don't make us non-Africa, because everybody that walked on the planet Earth walked out of Africa, yes. But the people who we're talking about, those who are not the mutants, people want to go there, let's go there. You're going to tell me that something got trapped in the ice, mutated, and then decide to declare war on nature, on God itself. And the war is against me and you, the African, because they see us as the epitome of the authenticity of the divinity itself. We got to know what we really up against. They don't have a clue, most of the young people who are using these labels, partially because they feel hurt and rejected by their own people who feel hurt and rejected by them. You, the brothers and sisters who come from the continent of Africa, they look at, but we have not reached out to help them. We have no welcoming wagon for them. So if the enemy takes them and give them counseling and guidance and jobs and stuff, we gonna blame the hungry man? Or should we blame ourselves because we weren't the one there that said, welcome, brothers and sisters. Here's how we're going to get you a job. Here's how we're going to find you a place to live. Here's how we're going to help you get your children in school. Here's how we're going to get you on your feet and get started. Well, we left that to the enemy. And now we mad with our brothers and sisters because they didn't stay there and died and starved to death. No, we have to get our brains straight. We have to understand what being an African means. You know, the melanin is essential to our Africanization because we are the universe itself, yes. But being an African means the thing we describe as God, that's what being an African means. That thing we call the divinity, that's the character of the African itself. That's our culture. And people are afraid because that means you got to change your little black behind into something better than what the white man has created you to be. You're going to give me the white slop and then give it a name like Foundation of Black America. Don't label me with slop. Now, if you use that because you're trying to find an identity, I'll help you with that. Because you deserve to have your own identity like everybody.
Yes.
But don't bring the same white slop along saying you're anti-African, you're not African, you're not from Africa. That's the white slop that they've been trying to push in our brain from day one. Throw that slop out, empty and wash your bucket, and let us bring some real black stuff up in there. Let's talk about Martin Delaney. Let's talk about Booker Washington. Let's talk about Ida B. Wells. Let's talk about Harriet Tubman. Let's talk about Sojourner Truth. Go back in our history. Every organization that we formed from the 1700s forward was called the African something. Every damn one. Prince Saul,
African Masons,
Free African Lodge, 1749 or someplace up there. Richard Allen, Absalom Jones, the African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church, the African Methodist Church, the Black Baptist Movement, the African Baptist Church. This is all back in the 1700s, okay? By the time we hit the 1792, Malcolm didn't invite the Afro-American nothing. In 1892, a group of Black women out of Rochester, New York, formed the Afro-American League, headed by T. Thomas Fortune, okay? We had the United African Societies. This is all in the 1800s. So they need to study some history.
Yeah.
We never stop identifying ourselves as African. Not one moment, not one day, not 1 hour, you know? And so I understand the hurt that some of them feel, but a lot of this hurt is out of the ignorance. Our brothers and sisters from the continent is being murdered and killed by the same cat on Wall Street that's murdering and killing us.
Yes.
They're just doing it long distance or got some surrogates. They have impoverished them just as they have impoverished us. All the Europeans and others stepping off of a boat every day as immigrants, you got no issue with them, but you got an issue with your brother and sister who's trying to survive and come and wake and make a little bit of money and send back home to keep his mama medical bills paid and to send his little brother and sister to school somewhere. Yes, there's a problem. He doesn't know you and you don't know him. So then that should be what our work should be about.
Yeah.
About to reach out to one another, grab each other, figure out how to educate one another, you know, and we can criticize each other, but let the criticism be about love and unity, not the criticism be about destruction and death of our own people.
Yeah, they're not here to usurp us. They're not this notion that everything that happens bad in Black America is a non-FBA person doing, or they're here to steal resources. And
crap. I always tell folks, who was selling the dope down on the corner? Who was the hip hopper with the pants up the behind? Who was Jack? Listen, I have not, and let me tell my brothers something so they get it real clear. No disrespect, my sister, because you standing here, right? But 95% of our black women is molested and raped by black men right here in African America before they're 15 friggin' years old. So you got some shit to deal with. And so you better deal with looking in the mirror and see what you're calling a black man as a white man in blackface. Now, if you want to get to being a black man, you got to study the history of your African self. And you got to look at the work of those who have gone before you. And you can't belittle Fannie Lou Hamer by just calling her name and not seeing the work that Fannie Lou Hamer was doing. You can't talk about Malcolm X and not seeing the transformation that Malcolm went through. The point of Malcolm's life was to say, I brought myself through knowledge of self from the garbage can and the trash of white supremacy to an African man. The last name he took for himself is Omar Wali, the child who returned home.
Yes, sir.
Not Malik, okay? So we need to study history. And let me be clear, my FDA brothers and sisters, I love them. I am not going to abandon them. I am going to teach them. And I'm going to work to get them to see, because the ones I've met, these are not young people who hate Africa. They just don't friggin' know.
They don't know what they don't know.
When I spoke in DC and I talked about I'm an African, I'm an American, I named all the labels we can use, but at the end of that label, I'm an African, they cheered. It's just that nobody's explaining it to them. Nobody's showing them how to link it up.
Baba, let me make,
because those in the leadership don't know how to do it.
well, a part of that is that there's this plausible deniability. They're saying that there is no leadership, and I think that's
Yeah, they don't understand what influence is. A leadership is someone who can influence your thoughts, and that then influence your actions.
And there is someone influencing their thoughts and their actions, but he's saying that he's not their leader. But Baba, really quick, because I want all.
Since then, I think Best Western has taken over the hotel. And I went there last year to see if they still had that mural I saw 20, 30 something years ago. And they said they have it, but it's downstairs, that they didn't destroy. They took that wall down, put it downstairs. But it was this mural in Africa, a hotel built by Kwame Nkrumah, showing Africans trading with Africans in North America pre-Columbus. So we over here seem to be the only one that just got the 411 on the blacks going on in North America.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So now, recently, there was you were on a broadcast on a YouTube stream, and there was a dude who's kind of known in our circles as being a troll, and he gave you some real. He basically lied to you and gave you some misinformation about some of the stuff that we've said, and then tried to use you against me, and some of these other trolls tried to use your words against me. How do you feel about that, sir?
Right. Well, part of it is the young man, Omar Wali, called me yesterday. And his position, he says, I wasn't the one putting that out there like that. And I said, what do you mean? I said because, I couldn't find him. I had the name wrong.
Yeah.
And when I found the name in my phone, he called me just as I found the name. And he says, listen, because I did this little piece, I was trying to get it right on Twitter, calling people out for doing that, because I'm saying, wait a minute, that was not what really happened. Right. Now, he did raise these things about foundational Black American. And I go like, these are my children, I think is the term I use, and I love them. You got to understand it. If I think my children have any issues, I'm going to argue with them to get the issues right. Right? If they made any statements wrong, then I'm not going to stab them in the back or talk to them about behind their back. I tell them my love for you, our relationship, and so forth. And whenever I have any issues, I talk to you about it. Sometimes you be quiet, sometimes you take me on, but we've never had a negative.
Right, of course.
You and I.
Of course.
And you know the things I disagree in, and they ain't really big things. That's the issue. Well, then I really argue with you about one thing, the N-word, right? Yeah. And sometimes I think you lose your temper a little bit too much on some of these Negroes who don't deserve you putting that energy on. And those have been our two issues. Yeah. And we deal with this going back. And I remember when you were having an issue, but I think we won't even call his name, but a little brother out there. Yeah. And I call you and I talk to you about it, and you squashed that.
Yeah.
There was an issue with some sister who was coming after you about some stuff. I called you. This is a couple of years ago. You squashed that. They didn't squash it, but you did.
Yeah.
So I have to let people understand and be clear, because I got some crazy calls from all over the world. When I was coming to Washington, you're not going there. And I could, wait a minute, I had to do like a real, almost had to do a Tariq Nasheed. I had to go off on some folks. Who the hell are you to tell me where I go, who I speak with, and why? Now, if you call me and say, Brother Small, I heard something about Tariq, is that right? I would have told you, no, that ain't right. You know, you've been misinformed. And so when I did the show with the young people, because they'd call me, and I do a lot of shows with young people call me, and most of the times I don't know who they are beforehand, and a lot of times it's the first time. And some have played me out of pocket, you know, because they just want to say I got Professor Small on there and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And on this show, when the issue came up, and I told them, when I want to speak to you and make a criticism, I do it to your face. I'm not a backstabber, you know. I'm going to tell you, and I'll say right out in the public that I own it. That's how men do.
Right.
You know, that's how men be. And then we had a pretty, what I thought was a decent discussion with me explaining what Pan-Africanism is, explaining what Foundation of Black American is, and telling them I'm both. Because for me, Pan-Africanism is how we unite the Black people all over the world to be one force.
Right.
Now, we can call it Pan anything we want to, but all the Pan means is unity, nothing else. And that Foundation of Black American, that we have a right to identify ourselves in the same way any other ethnic group. And I think I used the Jamaican community. They don't call themselves African, they call themselves Jamaicans.
Right, absolutely.
The people from Haiti don't say I'm African, they say I'm Haitian. And we find no contradiction with that. We're the only group in North America that use the term African to describe ourselves. And I always appreciated that word African American, because African, when we left there, the Berlin Conference hadn't happened yet. And the place hadn't been chopped up into all of these names yet. It was just one continent called Africa. And we were these people. Now, there can be some argument about the name, where that name come from. That's a good discussion, because it's hard to really get to the source of it, even though I know what may be some probable sources for the word Africa.
Right.
But when we come back to what happened when I was on the show, so bring it back to center, I give Omaweli credit in that he was man enough to call me yesterday and I said, well, what is your beef for Tariq? And he gave some critique about Pan-Africanism and your view on Pan-Africanism, or attack of Pan-Africanism. And I gave him my view on you and what I think your view is. And I told him that, you know, the work that you have done bespeaks itself. Now, they try to take you out of the picture with the work. They said he used them other historians. No. Even if that's all you did, right? If all you did was brought some historians together, and I think we're some of the best in our time, and you had us bring a lesson to our people, no friggin' body else had done that.
Right.
No one had done that. And you did it in a multiple series of topics that woke up the Black world. If you had only done that, I have to respect that. My argument with you was a simple argument. Don't let people defame the good work that you've done by engaging in conflict and argument with people that is not worthy of the work that you have done and the work that you're doing. But I say that to your face.
Absolutely.
We're brothers.
Absolutely.
You've been in my house. You've been in my home. You know, my first time doing Hidden College, you flew me out to California. You know, me and my partner, Brother Rockwell, who has passed away from COVID, that beautiful brother.
I did not know that. Wow. Sorry to hear
Yeah,
that.
we lost him a year ago, 3 days ago.
Oh, wow.
Man, my heart is still broken on that piece. You know, I'm still suffering with that.
Yeah.
But then what happened after the show, I started looking, you know, I just going around internet and had people taking little pieces of what I had said and using that to say I'm attacking you.
Right.
And that's what pissed me off, because usually I don't get involved in none of this tete-a-tete kind of stuff. So I had to then try to say, okay, let me make a statement. I thought I didn't do a good job in getting it out there, but I must have reached somebody, because some people fired some people's asses up. Or whatever little bit of my little statement got through on Twitter. Because anyone that took what I said in that show and twisted to be an attack on you was being straight up evil. Collaborators, if not agent themselves.
Yes, indeed.
I don't like to call people agents straight up, but collaborators can come from just being ignorant or selfish or being anti-freedom. Because what we're talking about is freeing our people. That's what information gives us the ability to do. This technology gives us the ability to use this information very well. No one has done it like you have done it. And yet, like me, I get criticism too, because I remember I did a piece about 8 years ago where I was encountering a situation on 125th Street with Sarnetta. I went off on the brothers and sisters from the continent of Africa. It was a 2-hour speech, but somebody took 3 minutes out of that and sent it to Ghana, my home base. I was in the middle of a $500,000 negotiation. No, $750,000 negotiation of investment in my hotel at the table. And when the guy saw that piece, he pulled out of the negotiations the next day. Notwithstanding, I'm saying to my family, this thing is 2 hours. In the 2 hours, I'm praising Africa. I'm praising Pan-Africanism. But I was trying to settle an argument where the brothers from the continent were siding with the Arabs and the Asians against the African-American youth merchants, okay? And it pissed me off. And the African-American youth merchant was saying that let's come together. Those of us from the continent and those from here, let's go to the National Black Theater. Let's sit down and come together in united force. And our brothers from home didn't want to do that because they got caught up in the immigrant identification instead of the race identification. And that's what I was addressing. And I was harsh. If you've ever seen it, I was a little bit brutal. I could be brutal. Okay. And so, but sometimes our brothers and sisters from home have earned that criticism. And there are many of them who haven't earned it, because I've also worked with the multiple organizations from the continent at City College, housing them for decades. Liberia, Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, where I was the lead man in making sure they had space and place. And we worked together on political issues, but there was also those who felt that the alliance was not with us and our struggle, and that the alliance was with the Europeans, not realizing that this is an enemy we're at war with. We should take some criticism, because we need to reach out more and tell them, hey, yo, when you land here, this is what's up. And I don't think we do that enough. And I think if we do that more, we may find more people, beginning, because they're hearing you all over Africa. They're hearing us right now.
Yes, indeed.
All over Africa, people are hearing us. I was on Susan Tatas yesterday. People called in from at least 30 different African nations, okay? So people are listening to us because they want some direction on how to free themselves from the tyranny. And so when I hear people going and attacking you, and when I ask them, why are you you can have a reason to criticize a brother. That's one thing. The criticism is one thing. Outright attack, defaming, that's something else.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm seeing on the internet. There's defamation because somebody disagreed with something that you said. Hell, there's a lot of things I said. Even my wife downstairs, we've been together 50-something years. And she just, when Carol disagreed, I'm the most humble dude in the world, because I ain't messing with that lady. But she don't defame me. She don't attack me. When she go to bed at night, she give me a kiss on the head and said, I love you. And we move on and we do our work to raise our family, build our family, do the things we have to do. I've watched your work. I choose to work with you. You don't pay me no money to talk about. People don't know when you do documentaries. I've done a number of documentaries. The big folks with big money, they don't give you no money to do documentaries because it's a contradiction, right? Because if you pay somebody to do a documentary, they can lie.
You're right. They're going to say what you want them to
all
say.
Kinds of shit. So they don't pay you to do documentary. You the only dude that give us a little complimentary stuff, but it ain't nothing to buy a cup of tea. It's almost just a respect token,
right? Which
we appreciate because we understand what that's about. So this ain't about no money.
Right.
You ain't buying nobody. You certainly couldn't buy me for it because I'm expensive. But I want to tell. I'm giving a little bit to Umar Wali because he called yesterday. And he said to me, and I told him I'm going to be meeting with you. I'm going to be on your show. I thought we were going to do it last night. And he says, I'm not Tariq's enemy. Then I said, well, what is going on? and he laid out, and I forgot a little bit, that he disagreed with you on some things concerning Pan-Africanism. Okay, that's a discussion, not an attack. You don't attack somebody because you don't agree with their approach to dealing with a particular, political concept, political idea, political process. Because many of the brothers and sisters who call themselves Pan-Africanism don't have a freaking clue what Pan-Africanism historically is about.
Right.
And what they're running with is quasi-nationalist ideology, not even based on history, on how to formulate a revolutionary process for Black people. And that first part of formulating that process is you must be informed and instructed by your history and your culture. You've done that very well.
Yes, sir.
And the attack on you, I have to look at sometimes sideways and say, wait a minute. This dude, this Tariq dude, he has brought us a stream of historical events that tie our stuff together over hundreds of years. And you put some of the finest scholars, because I know most of those men and women. Before I ever met you, we've worked together on multiple other things. And I know these are good people. And I know these aren't people who are out there trying to ego, because we've been out here, some of us 50, 60 years. We ain't egoing. We just having fun teaching Black folks. I'm just glad God has let me live long enough I can even have a conversation with a young man like you. But I say to those who took that information from that show, I forgot the name of the show, and decide that they were going to attack you because I explained to them that if I have what I was explaining, if I had a criticism of you, I would speak it to your face and I would speak it in the public. I thought I was giving them a way of understanding how to be critical without becoming the enemy of your own brothers or sisters. And somebody took it and spun that. Brother Small said about Tariq Nasheed, that's not what I said.
Right, and that was very deceptive.
Nor was that the intent of what I said. Nor was that the purpose for saying it. I'd be a fool. I would be disgracing my family and myself to do that. And so, and the young man who called me yesterday, because this is only the third time I spoke to him, and I wanted to know, why are you so angry at the brother? Because we all have disagreements. Me and Dr. Leonard Jeffries, we've worked together for 55 years. You think me and Leonard ain't had some tit and tat over 50-some years? But that's my brother. That's my father. He was sick in the hospital for the last few months. I'm trying to be there every day. I'm trying to work with the brothers, make sure he ain't got no bills when he get home. Make sure his house is fixed up. Make sure his light fixtures are done. You contributed to it.
Yes, I did.
Yes, and you did. And I'm not gonna say what you contributed, but you made it a good contribution to Doc. Absolutely. And he appreciated it. Yes, indeed. Even though he's a man of great pride, he didn't want no help. We told him, whether you like it or not, we're gonna help you. And we got together, Baba Kalfani, Baba Reggie, and others, and we made that move.
Yes.
And so what I'm saying to these brothers and sisters, because I think it ain't just brothers, there's some sisters too. Stop this attack. You can't rationalize attacking your own people when I don't see one attack coming from you on the enemy. I don't see any documents you're doing where you're attacking, identifying and attacking the enemy, or you're informing the people of who the enemy is. Because certainly when they attack you, they're attacking me, they're attacking Baba Coleman, they're attacking our sister Nelson, they're attacking Dr. Nobles, you're attacking all of us. Because we've all been a part in multiple parts of the exercise you've been involved in instructing and teaching our people. Some of it, I think, Tariq, is just plain ignorance, right? Some of it is ego. Some of it is envy. Some of it is jealousy. But let's not make no mistake. The enemy created the strife between Malcolm and Elijah. Okay? And fanned the flame that caused us Malcolm's life. Okay? The brothers and sisters who was in there shooting their mouth off didn't realize they were carrying out the instruction of the enemy without even knowing it. Now, I hope I'm making it plain to people, because y'all don't understand what's going on.
Yes, indeed.
They've made this division, they divide Minister Farrakhan from the rest of us. You know, like somehow Christianity has more credibility than Islam. Give me a break. But the enemy has told you to keep this division going. So you can find everything in the world wrong with that brother, no matter how much good he does. Now, some of it is ignorance. Some of it is envy. Some of it is jealousy. But some of it is treachery and collaboration. And for those who are involved in the treachery and collaboration, I can't put my finger on you and say specifically who you are. But I want to be very clear. You're not going to play me in the middle of your treachery. And you're not going to play me in the middle of even your envy, your jealousy, and your hatred because someone has achieved something that you don't feel you can achieve. Maybe you need to do the work. Because a lot of things, when you see people achieving, they put the work in. And not only put the work, I know this brother, not only put the work in, he put his own money in. Ain't nobody really giving you no money. Go back to history, they made the same attack on Booker T. Washington. Booker T left us Tuskegee. How you gonna put him down? How you gonna make him a coon? Booker T ain't no coon. You gotta study his history and really understand that man.
Right, he wasn't. Let people know that Booker T. Washington was a real rider and a real revolutionary, especially behind the scenes.
Absolutely. He was always, I'm from South Carolina. You know, South Carolina people, we easily dream Booker T. Washington. And Diane Wright, Dr. Diane Wright has written a wonderful book on Booker T. Washington, Pan-Africanist, to get rid of a lot of that myth. Booker didn't run around wearing a dashiki every day or making trips to the continent. But Booker financed Bobby Du Bois. Du Bois was his friend. They had a rift. They had a tip. They got past that shit. Those brothers have been friends most of their life. Du Bois and Garvey had a rift over a real issue around Garvey's meeting with the Klan. But they did more work together than they did fighting one another. But somebody's job was to make us see them divided. And then we get caught in these divides. And they're doing the same. I see the same thing with you. I'm trying to listen for a logical reason why you've been put under attack. I have not seen one.
Right.
I mean, the only thing, you cuss sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And you use that N-word, which I'll tell you right here in front of the whole words. Stop using it. Now, I didn't agree with that discussion on the so-called N-word, right? But since our people made that a consensus among them, I said, okay, I'm gonna respect. Y'all took that position that we don't use it, then I won't use it. But I thought I had different views on it because of how white folks arrive at it in their ignorance, couldn't even pronounce negrito, so they came up with another pronunciation. No matter what we were called, they hated us because they wanted what we had. And they set out to take it. But back to this division that people are trying to cause in the Black community. The division, they said you weren't gonna open the museum. They said you had stole the money. They said all of that stuff I've heard on the internet in different spaces. You used the people and you took their money and you never had any intentions of ever opening a museum. In the meantime, your museum was almost open when they were saying these things. You were almost completed your work. And I hope that it has flown in their faces that they see that there is a museum and it's a real museum. And how extraordinary it is to try to build a museum. Because I've been working with some brothers from the continent for the last decade. We're trying to build a piece down there in Winnipeg, and we still just barely getting off the ground because that's no easy task. You know. So, but I want to come back to my brothers and sisters who watch us, not the ones who've been spreading the discord, because they will be dealt with by the people, because when you pull the cover off of them, the people gonna see who they are. I said I give that other little brother, I know he's been harsh on you and abusive, and he man up to it, right? In the conversation we had yesterday. But I tell him he need to recheck why you feel so harsh, you know? Because a lot of times we get caught up in these little false ideological realities. And then we look at ourselves in the mirror and we're not even doing the thing we're accusing the other person of doing, not doing. Go do your work. Stop fighting each other. Stop attacking the men and women who are trying to do good work. If you have a disagreement with them, pick up the telephone. The brother, can we talk? Have that conversation, all right? But just using social media as a way to create fratricide in our community. That's making the FBI and the CIA happy. COINTELPRO ain't got to do no work because we're doing it for them. And it needs to stop.
Yes, indeed.